makers. 64 for the high temperature on Saturday, a touch cooler. Still unsettled Saturday night, and Easter Sunday, not the best by any means. Periods of rain, couple of strong thunderstorms possible. 72 on Sunday. This wet pattern should break as we get into early Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm. We've got 78 in St. Peter's. It's windy, 78 in Florissant, 78 downtown at the Arch. Winds are out of the south-southwest at 18, gusting up to 29 miles per hour. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Good afternoon, St. Louis, DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Happy Friday. Whew, finally Friday.
I know, it's been a long week.
Damn, it really has. Wasn't a bad week. Didn't have bad things happen. Just like the ball game we went to, legit feels like a week ago. And that was Wednesday, right? Doesn't it feel like a week ago?
Feels like a long time ago.
Feels like months ago.
Feels like it was
Feels like when I was in junior
another
high.
lifetime.
Yeah.
That was 1974.
When my mom was little.
My camera is messed up.
Here, you tell me. Oh, there you go.
That's pretty good.
No, it's not.
It's like it's not staying up.
There we go. Now do mine.
Out of fall.
There's a window washers out there, and there's a very stout rope swinging in the breeze, and it looped around a branch in like a hangman's noose kind of thing. And it made me think, somehow in my mind, I think that hangings only happened on television. Like there were real humans.
Yeah.
That was really what happened. Do you feel me? Like there's a real separation between me and terrible things where I just have this disbelief.
Yeah.
Like people weren't really drawn and quartered. Just an idea someone came up with.
Just a movie.
They put it in a story and it scared the kids, but it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
It happened all the time.
It did.
Thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
Mm-hmm. As brutal as we think the world is now, it was way more brutal back in the day.
Yeah.
Pretty much any day before now.
Also, how are we not figuring out that every kid with measles wasn't vaccinated? How is it 2025? And this thing has been around since I was a little kid. I remember getting my first MMPR, RP, whatever it is. How do you get dumber? How do you devolve? How does it happen? That in mass, huge numbers of people just go, we've known this for decades, but let's do the opposite.
Yeah, I think a lot of times that just comes with the privilege of like, all right, I don't have to get my kid vaccinated because all the other kids will be vaccinated and then they're not at risk. But if everyone does that, then we run into the mess.
People like being right. People like being right more than they like being loved or appreciated or cherished. Boy, I'm throwing bombs, aren't I?
I guess so.
But I think it's kind of true. I think that in 2025, we have been conditioned to want to be right over almost everything else. And so people who think that they've found it, whether it's Bigfoot or it's vaccines, they're just going to go in 1,000%.
Flat Earth.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I had. I can show you my notebook. That's all I had.
That was almost a Beatles song. Yeah. Isn't it great how this is one of my favorite things about any show, but like the first segment or two of any show it's just its own rhythm, its own vibe, its own thing. Well, it doesn't matter whether it's a sports show or this one or anything else. There's always everyone's got its own little
everything.
little life.
Like starting anything is kind of difficult.
Mhm.
Whether you're on a first date or it's meeting your girlfriend's family or starting a vacation with other couples. Like the first night, you're sort of like, hee hee.
What do we do here?
I don't know what your guys is. I was thinking about this last night. Someone said it on TikTok and I hadn't heard it other than from us in a long time. But when we were kids and someone would say something and you wanted to make them feel stupid, you could go with duh.
Yep.
But doy
was better.
Was so much more aggressive.
Doy is an execution. Doy is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about this. The only comeback, because when someone hits you with doy, like you're out for like 60 seconds.
You got stunned.
You got stunned. There's nothing you can say because everything's going to make it worse. The only thing I ever saw work was if you had supreme confidence and a little bit of factual basis upon which you're arguing, and you go, you doy.
Oh.
But typically it was just like, that's sad. Get that weak crap out of here. But every now and then you could set the guy back on his heels like, didn't see that one coming.
It's like right back at you.
Well played, sir.
It's very, I'm rubber and you're glue.
Yeah.
Whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you.
Yeah, that's almost going to the triple dog dare.
Yes. I bet it still works today. Like if you're in like a big high power meeting and you hit someone with doy.
I would love that so much.
We can't possibly pay $500 million. Your stock is down to $83.16. Doy. It's like, okay, we'll make the deal.
You don't know that, and then they go. Oh,
although as an
my
adult,
gosh.
like if it said like in a joking, like we're all buddies here and all that, that's great. It's funny. You do that to me, seriously, we got a problem.
He's always going to beat someone up.
No, I don't mean necessarily.
Yeah, it always ends with.
I'm not
he's going
necessarily
to
going to
end
hit
you
them,
with his logic,
but I'm definitely going to
arguments.
come at you. You're like, don't talk to me like that.
Every conversation with Wheeler is in danger of turning into him tying you down on first base and soaping you up.
Part of it is he always tells you where the line is.
It is, yes. You got to know the line, right? There's a line. Like again, you should never talk to a grown person like that, unless you're with friends and you're all just
drunk.
Yeah, well, or you're just messing around, right? Like we talked about that maybe off the air yesterday, but there's like that when you know people, there's a different standard for what you can and can't say.
Yes.
Right? You can come up to me, you can say pretty much anything in the world to me because I know you and I won't care and it's not mad, it doesn't make you angry or whatever.
And if you did, you tell me what line I have to cross for you to beat me up.
Yes, if you cross this line, Dave.
Like what you did is okay. But if you say you doy.
Yeah. Don't bring the doy back at me, brother. Them's fighting words.
You'll find yourself soaped up so fast. You'll be cleaner than you've ever been in your life. 3 days of rain, Glover. 3 days of rain.
You're gonna be
a stormy weekend.
Hope you got room in your backyard.
By Monday, I'd look great. Just wash all this ugly
You
off.
won't smell.
My tattoos are all stoppy.
Just come back sparkling. You actually wasn't so bad.
It worked out well.
I'm just not kidding to this guy. Hello to Matthew. Hello, Carol. Carol always says, hey. And I was reading like, hey.
Yeah, like, hey.
Sometimes she
Hey, Carol.
sometimes she says yo.
Yeah.
What if
Yep.
it's intended to
I
be?
always really like that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. She's whipping rocks at us in her mind.
Rachel, did you ever have a fist fight?
Yeah.
Wow.
I was really young. I think I was in second grade.
Nice.
And I've told this story on the air before.
I don't
think.
remember it.
Everybody was playing soccer, and there was a boy in my class who had like anger issues, and I think he shoved or punched my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You drop kicked him.
What's that?
You drop kicked him.
I did. I got into it. I was like, you can't do that.
That's it. That's great.
So you were throwing hands.
I was
Stepping up for a friend. That's great.
And then there was another time this this boy, I almost said this guy. He was in 5th grade.
He's like, he's 25-year-old guy in 5th grade.
He was hanging out at the school, and I thought he should leave. No, he shoved me, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna punch you. And then I got in trouble for like, oh, she was gonna fight like a boy. That's what the teacher said.
Oh,
and that
wow.
was somehow worse than this boy who had 50 pounds on
Who was
me
gonna fight a girl.
shoving me.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not bitter though.
No, you were right, Rach. Those teachers were wrong.
Thanks, Wheels. Yeah, if you would have been there, you would have been like, let's see how this plays out.
I'll go get the dog.
All we did was fight.
Yeah.
It's all we did.
Yeah.
Yet I was always terrified of a real fight.
Yeah. There were mostly never real ones.
But they were straight up fights.
Yeah.
Like we would go out and have a wrestle royal
Yep.
in the field.
Yep.
And it was just like any movie you've seen, like John Wick. You'd take on one guy.
Yep.
And then you'd take on another guy. And it was straight up. I mean, it wasn't punching each other in the face, but it was, taking them down and grinding their face into the grass and things like that. And then if someone was like 3 p.m., you and me, you're like,
Again, keep in mind, this is like at a Catholic grade school, in the 1980s. But we'd get the big snow piles in the winter when they would plow the church's huge parking lot.
King of the Hill.
Yeah, so we were like, well, we called it Kill the Guy. Because the guy on the top would be holding a football just for whatever reason, and you had to take him off the hill and take the football. And it would be literally like 10 people trying to get one person, and it's a fight. You're not throwing punches, right? You're not trying to like knock anybody's teeth out, but you're hitting each other. It was fun. It's a good
one of the
learning
most
tool.
dangerous, violent games in grade school is Red Rover.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man, you
getting
can
clotheslined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or just running as fast as you can and hitting two people who are locked arms.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for.
Now
Yeah.
that I think is a classic boy thing. I don't think girls necessarily played Red Rover like
they
that.
had to, but we played it in PE.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't even just like a bunch of stinky hooligan boys. It was like 3rd period. Like
There has never been a boy alive that has gone into a Red Rover line and not just like full on like body slam.
Yeah.
Diving
It's the whole
tackle.
point.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you're supposed to just try to break through the arms, right? Like that's the
Yes.
goal. But the cheaters will hit the person.
And remember how magical it
you're
was.
not ready for it.
That's fair play. That's not cheating.
Red
I think
Rover,
it's
Red
fine.
Rover, send Rachel right over. Is that the way you guys would play it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You felt so special.
Yeah.
I always felt very special during Duck, Duck, Goose if I were picked.
Ours was 7-Up.
Yeah.
Oh, how did you play that again? Because we played that and I don't remember what it
Well,
was.
let me tell you. So you would get 7 people at the front of the classroom, and then everyone would put their heads down. And then the 7 people would go out and surreptitiously, they would tap someone on the head, and then you'd raise your hand.
Right.
And then when they said, okay, Dave, who tapped your head? You'd be like, Wheeler. And if I was right, you sit down, and I get to be one of the 7-Up.
I gotcha.
That's
I
how
gotcha.
you
I remember that.
Yeah.
Because I remember people, the way we would do it is you would try to fool the person you were tapping
Yes.
by kind of doing it the opposite of the way they would think you would.
Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Strategery.
Yeah. You know what? I just learned about that just last night. I saw an interview with George Bush because that's how my life's going. And he said that he thought he said strategery and he never did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
Just Will
Yeah.
Ferrell.
Yeah. He goes, he was talking to Lorne Michaels and he said, I just can't believe I said it. And he's like, well, you didn't. We wrote it.
We just made it up. But that's the thing. Even he thought it could have happened.
Correct.
Because it could have.
He's probably the most likable of the presidents, don't you think?
I mean, he seems like he'd be fun to if we're doing the like, would I have a beer with him standard? Like, oh, far and away.
Yeah.
George W. Like, without a doubt.
Like Obama, Clinton, and W all seem cut from the same cloth. I mean, Clinton's a little farther out there in some ways, but I mean, they're all just sort of cool guys.
Well, it seems like they fell into like an archetype of being the president that we all kind of expected. And we were like, oh, this is how presidents are. And then that other guy came around and is like, oh, throw those rules out the window.
Yeah. I think of the three, if you take just policy and official actions out, right? Just the person. Clinton's the worst of those people.
Yeah.
I mean,
hard
all
to-
the
hard to
story,
deny.
right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's not even close. I wouldn't want to hang out with that guy. I wouldn't want to spend time. I could spend time with either Bush or Obama and be like, well, George W. Bush loves baseball. I can sit there and talk baseball and watch a game with him.
Peter says, I used to play Heads Up, 7-Up when I was in grade school. Did you guys ever play dodgeball or kickball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a religion.
Yeah.
Both were a religion.
Yeah.
And one time playing dodgeball in PE with the little red balls
The best ones.
that go ping, like the size of softballs.
Yeah.
And someone hit Shelley Bedwell right in the face, and her glasses broke.
No.
And so when we came in the next week, we had yarn balls. Never forget it. And it's Coach Bossy, who is my PE teacher and my track coach in high school. Love that man. He's the one, when I wanted a Kotex machine for the boys' bathroom, he pulled me aside.
He's like, son.
And you could tell he was heartbroken too, because someone's mom complained. Probably Shelley Bedwell.
Well,
Yeah,
I
way to go,
mean,
Shelly.
Thanks, Shelley.
yeah. Or Shelly's mom, really.
Yeah,
Way to go,
thanks,
Shelley's mom.
Doy.
Oh, I bet you're so mad you had to buy a new pair of glasses.
I mean, that's
I hate
expensive and all,
Shelley's
but like,
mom so much.
kickball was fun too. I like kickball.
I like kickball.
I mean, I will admit, having been pretty athletic in my childhood, PE was just built around dominating those who weren't. I mean, it just was, right?
It's yeah, well, yeah, but it was weird because our group was so small. We only had like 20 people in our whole grade, so like it was always the same, and it was always the same 4 people that won everything.
Like if you were the kid picked last, that sucked.
Yeah,
Like that just sucked.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through HIMSS.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At HIMSS, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that HIMSS can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS.
Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
This May, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is coming back to St. Louis. Join us at Energizer Park for the round of 32 as St. Louis City SC plays for this historic trophy. Get tickets now at stlcity.com/Open Cup.
Join KMOX broadcasting live from Chesterfield Valley Nursery, Saturday, April 26th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Take advantage of special offerings for Customer Appreciation Day. Saturday, the 26th at Chesterfield Valley Nursery, just east of the entertainment complex.
Total Information AM, weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS 123. Happy Friday. Another thing I was thinking about last night. I've made this reference before, but I really thought about it last night. That's My Mama. Was that the name of the show with the one we talked about with the tall kid, the glasses, rerun?
No, that was
What's Happening?
What's Happening? Yeah.
Okay. They had an episode of that where the Doobie Brothers were there.
Yep.
And at one point, the main kid, I can't remember his name, Raj, called them. And when the guy answers from the band, he goes, "Which Doobie you be?" And I remember being about 10
That's a classic.
and going, I got that. Like, I think I might have the skill of funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I knew that my buddies made me laugh and I made them laugh, but I never really like heard a joke, a constructed joke. And then it's almost like hearing a foreign language and going, I think I understand what they're saying. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And so going all the way back, that was the very first of many, many times when I thought, I wonder if I could do that. I wonder if I could, because I never intended to be a comedian. I intended to be a comedy writer, which was even worse to my parents. Like if you're going to go into something stupid, at least be the star.
Mm.
But I was like, yeah, I want to be a comedy writer. Can you imagine like your 10-year-old saying they want to be a comedy writer?
Back then,
Back
no.
then,
Now, yes.
when your choice was management or labor, you know, I mean,
Right.
that's you're going to work at the refinery.
At this point, blue collar or white collar?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of the view at the time.
The arrogance to think you could write something as brilliant of
Yes.
as which doobie you be.
Right. Yeah. I was flying too close to the sun.
Yeah, they got in trouble in that episode.
Did they?
They were trying to bootleg the concert audio. Remember that?
No, I don't remember anything else
Yeah,
about
they were
it.
sitting.
They
in the
wanted to be
audience.
the doobie.
They were trying to record it so that I think some person was like paying them to try to record the live performance, and they got caught.
Also, you ready for this?
That's My Mama.
How many chuggas until the choo-choo?
Just 4.
15.
Shut up.
72.
No, I'm sorry. 12.
No, you're all wrong.
What
It's
is it?
8.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Chugga, 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 choo, choo.
That's crazy. You got to have 4 more. Rule of threes, man. Chugga, 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 chugga,
Chugga,
chugga, chugga, chugga, chugga, chugga, chugga, chugga.
No, that's way too long.
They're honking the horn way too much. That's too much honk. Everybody's going to get mad. People live near their tracks.
I don't know what we're talking about.
You didn't do chugga, chugga, choo, choo?
No.
Please try and keep up with
Doy.
the conversation,
Doy.
Kevin.
You joy.
We didn't do that. Was that a thing?
Yeah. It's universal.
What was the point?
It'd be like a train.
Was it no? Oh, so
Be
you
like
were
a
just,
train guy.
So you were just doing the train thing where you.
But it was a thing, like
I
on
always
television.
I always associate it with like getting a baby to eat their food. Like, here comes the train, chugga chugga,
Yeah.
choo choo.
Oh.
That's the only time that's ever like entered into my world.
That's how Megan gets me to eat broccoli.
Just to get you in the hammock.
Yeah. we just thought it was an airplane.
Hammock train leaving. Chugga, chugga, choo,
I want to be
choo.
on the train.
Well, you don't have a ticket.
Unless you eat your broccoli.
You said way too many chuggas.
Yeah. What is that? Like 12 chuggas?
12 chuggas? That's insane.
Think I have room in here for a 12 chugga guy? Oh, Carol says she doesn't know the chugga chugga thing
There
either.
we go, Carol.
We
See?
must be sounding insane to people
Well,
right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "What is happening around me right now? Well, how many chuggas? What are you
How
talking
many
about?"
chuggas before the choo choo?
Here's something everyone can relate to.
I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something in the story.
We're doing my contract right now. Steve's listening, going like, "Yeah, I'm going to discount this a little bit."
I was like, "Yep, that's gonna affect the offer."
Who else could say how many chuggas before the choo choo? Honestly, probably no one else could do that.
Dang, I was legit confused.
I can't believe you've never heard it.
I mean, like I've heard that noise before. I just never counted
You've
them or
heard a
knew it was used.
train.
I've heard of a train.
Yeah, I've heard people do that when they're like pretending to be a train. They just
Tell you guys about Michael's Baths. It really is like sometimes I'll say things like, you guys are lucky, but you are kind of lucky that I would consider myself fortunate if I were planning on buying. I always go back to a drum set. And I was listening to a radio show. And they said, like, hey, come on down to Carl's Drums, 50% off this weekend. Like, I would think, oh, that's really pretty fortuitous. If you are thinking about doing a bathroom remodel, if you've looked at Bath Fitter or 3 Day Kitchen and Bath, we do the same thing. with as good or better products, with much better labor, local, family owned and operated. There's no regional manager. You don't have to talk to Larry in Dubuque. You can just talk to Mike. You're going to have his cell phone. You're going to know exactly when they're showing up, exactly how long it's going to take. Anything goes sideways, he calls the close ones against himself to make sure you guys are really happy. If you're a disabled veteran, thank you for your service. You have earned a VA benefit that gives you these bathrooms for free. No charge at all to you. 636-775-0800, michaelsbaths.com.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Now it's time for Dave Murray's weather.
An early summer feel this afternoon, partly sunny skies, windy and warm, 83, 84 for the high. A couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. The focus is going to be very late today, though. Tonight, periods of rain and thunderstorms. Some of these could go strong to severe. Not everybody will see that, but the potential is there. 57 for the low. The holiday weekend remains unsettled. Saturday showers with some thunderstorms, a cooler 64. Easter Sunday showers and some strong thunderstorms possible, 72. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
DEA's National Prescription Drug Takeback Day. Learn more at DEATakeback.com.
Help keep our communities safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Takeback Day, April 26th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain. I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
If it's gonna rain, I want to know.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Experience the exhilarating atmosphere of a Cardinals game. Join the sea of red in the wave around the stadium. Feel the rush of excitement as a home run lights up the sky with fireworks, bringing the whole ballpark to their feet. Nothing beats the thrill of watching the Cards get the W with the final out at the plate. It's more than a game. It's an experience. Visit Cardinals.com for tickets and info. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Game tickets? Check.
A round of cold beers? Check.
Ballpark hot dogs? Check.
Baseball is back, and nothing beats a night out with the guys.
Or ladies.
At a Cardinals game.
From thrilling games and mouthwatering eats to the iconic ballpark energy, Busch Stadium is the ultimate spot for you and your crew to dive into America's favorite pastime.
Make your next night out the best one yet. Join us at Busch Stadium, where every hour is happy.
For tickets, visit Cardinals.com.
St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Today, the Cards, the Mets,
and Total Access 515.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
.132 DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. So Wheels, you said a couple of stupid things today,
dude. I got a letter in the mail. It was a week ago, from Chevrolet. They're doing some update for your computer in your car and for your model. Like, oh, you got the 2023, you got this. So just set it up with your dealership and everything's covered. And I'm looking at the letter and I'm like, all right, I got to get this done by April 30th because it says it will be covered free of charge by April 30th. So I'm on the phone today, just making the appointment, and they're super nice as always. I mean, could not have been better. And they said, okay, well, we'll get the first thing we can do is we can get you in like May 22nd. I'm like, oh, well, on the letter it says by April 30th. She's like, Yeah, that says April 30th, 2028. I thought it was the 26th. So I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I'm an idiot. I just didn't read that very closely. And then she said, okay, so we can get you in anytime between 7 and 1. I said, in the morning? Then I'm like, oh, yeah, you're not booking appointments from 7 p.m. till 1 a.m. I'm an idiot. My apologies. And to give her
Did
credit,
they laugh?
Yeah, she did. He's like, oh, well, yeah, you're right. We're not going to be open that late. I'm like, well, one of those days. And there's no good reason to ask that dumb question.
Yeah.
Other than your brain is not functioning properly at the moment. But yeah, amused me.
Did she go doy?
I wish I would have.
You doy.
I would have lost it if she had done that. I would have been like, but nope, very good humor. I'm sure they hear a lot of us saying dumb things because, most people don't read very closely. And I didn't because I thought the 6 or the 8 was a 6. And I'm like, I only have 2 weeks to get this done. I don't want to pay for this thing. This is this whatever update they got to do. And then turns out I had a whole 2 years to do it. Oh, no, 3 years. 3 years.
I find this very endearing because I say stupid things like 78,000 times a day. And this is Wheels had two kind of bad ones, and he's like all ashamed. I'm
but
like,
no, not ashamed.
You're doing really well.
You should be.
Yeah, I mean, they were stupid. Especially the first one was just like, you're too lazy to actually pay attention to what you're reading, right? Second one's just flat out idiotic.
I could hear through the door, and I was
7 to 1 is in the morning.
What is going on?
No, at night, you idiot. That would have been a great response, and I would have laughed.
I remember one time, Maureen and I were in the Ozarks, and we were at an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, and we were having a little tiff, just sort of that kind of thing. And I was fat, and I was wearing, who's my boy? Tommy Hilfiger.
Oh,
overalls over like a red bodysuit kind of thing. Yeah, I know. I know. I get it. And I think I'd had a couple drinks. I'm going to say I did just because it's so stupid if I didn't. And we're talking about the different food groups, and I go, I can't remember the point I was trying to make, but I had a bite of chicken and I held up my fork. I go, what do you think chicken is? And she goes, a bird, poultry. And I was like, oh, that's right. Like I was trying to say that chicken was like beef or a plant or something. I was just being stupid. And she just called me right out on it.
That's great.
Wow.
I also in the same meal. So everything's to blame on her. She saw this train coming. Like in the same meal, I was stuffing my fat face and I said, I don't think I can take another bite. True story on the lives of my kids, verbatim. And then I belched really loud and I took I took the bite of what food was on my fork.
You cleared space.
I cleared space. Right?
Yeah.
Rach is making a disgusting face. Of course you are.
No, that's what you're clearing space.
Yeah. I just love that it's like, and it was Maureen's fault. Like
I'm just saying she had plenty of notice.
I mean, that's real.
Overall.
Hasn't everybody done that?
I hadn't until then.
You think you're done, and then
with
you're like
a woman type.
Yeah. I mean, you probably don't usually do that in front of the person.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing you show off to your guy friends.
Right. That's exactly. Yes, exactly.
That's a real thing. Like when men get into relationships with women, when you start letting the woman see your guy side, the way you act with your guy friends. Mm-hmm. And if she thinks it's adorable, even for a couple of weeks, you're way ahead of the game.
Still got to filter that a little bit, though.
Oh my God, yeah, yeah. Filtering is the whole thing.
It doesn't matter what age. If you put like 3 or 4 guys together that are friends, you're just 3 or 4 idiots. That's what you are.
Yes.
That's just it immediately devolves to like 7th grade.
Yes.
Which is great.
And in my experience, like I remember one time, one of the very first projects I had as an attorney, which wasn't my project at all. They were just pretending it was. But a couple of the partners at the firm I was working for had been a part of a group that took out a $5 million loan, and they were going to pay back $1 million. And so my dumb South Roxana ass, I thought this is going to be like a bloodletting, like their hands will be thrown. And so all these guys are big enough wigs that they can get a $5 million loan and they can pay back $1 million. And it was the most backslappy, friendly thing I'd ever seen in my life. Which, first of all, I'm like, I can't believe you guys are even shaking hands.
Yeah.
And then it devolved into like 7th grade humor.
Yep.
And I remember thinking, because we're in this big, impressive glass building with a giant oak table, and everyone had a $500 fountain pen, and they all just started making like fart humor and D jokes, and like, oh, okay.
It never ends.
I didn't know this.
So in a professional setting, I've seen groups of guys be not like that. Be normal, talk about normal business.
Yeah, I don't like those guys.
Have you ever seen a group of guys that are just friends that have been friends for a long time where you're together and you're just normal?
For a while. For the first few minutes, typically, until the ice gets broken.
Oh, I mean like people that know each other, not
Yeah.
like, okay, I've met this guy twice or whatever.
Rach, what is the female corollary to that? If you're with your girls and you're just having fun, does it eventually get down to just stupid humor like it does for us?
I maybe not in the same way. I don't know. I think we go into a lot of times it turns into just like talking about girl stuff that we wouldn't talk about in front of guys.
Okay.
Like
reasonable.
Like if I'm with like a bunch of friends who have kids, it just goes into like hardcore mom conversation but it's like a safe space to be like, okay, we can talk about anything. No one's going to judge us for what we're saying. But no, I wouldn't say that it goes like very silly and very stupid.
Have you
my
enjoyed your
experience.
time around guys like that?
I mean, on the show,
That's a good point.
But it's even here. It's still kind of reined in a little bit.
it is. You guys are very good. Like,
bit. Yeah,
honestly, like there's very rarely am I like, I wish they wouldn't have said that around me. Like that very rarely happens.
Yeah, in my experience, when the two things cross over, it doesn't generally go very well.
And typically, like I told you something at the Cardinal game that really bothered you.
Mhm.
Typically, it's factual things. It's
Yeah,
not like a
yeah.
joke
Right.
that bothers you when we're
Yeah.
talking. It's typically like, did you hear this? You're like, wish I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wish you had held that one a little closer to the vest. And now I'll tell you that story.
Let's upset the entire audience.
Yeah, Wheels gets up and just leaves. So you have a take on the FSU shooting from yesterday?
Well, and not really a take, just more of I thought it was interesting that there are a couple of different reasons, because obviously the I'm not going to call him a kid, the shooter was the son of a police officer. His mom was a police officer for 18 years, and the reports are, I don't know that this has been totally like written out as the police report, but I believe the police were the ones that said he used her weapon. Which again, a lot of questions there about how does somebody have access to one of your service weapons if it's not the current one, even if it's an older one. Kind of a question like, don't you have some responsibility to make sure people can't get it? Even I'd say a college student's an adult, right?
Yeah.
So an adult kid. But I also thought it was fascinating that people found a Facebook post from the mom from a few years ago, and it was a picture of a little kid, like hands in his pockets, facing the corner. He's in trouble. He's in the corner. And the caption on the picture was 5 minutes in the corner is better than 5 years in prison. In other words, disciplining your kids now can prevent bigger things later. I just think that's really ironic.
Yeah.
Not to say that look, mom might not have done anything wrong, right? There are things that even parents that care and do the right things have kids that do things that are not right. That happens. I mean, it happens literally all the time. But it's just interesting how we don't always know what's right, but we always think our way is right. That was, to me, more the interesting takeaway. It's not like, oh, blame the mom. You can't. I have no idea. I mean, it could be as simple as mental illness got involved. I mean, you have no idea why someone goes that route until you study it, and we haven't studied it yet. But I think it's fascinating that we all have our ideas about what's the right way, for example, to raise a kid, the right amount of discipline, do you spank, do you not spank? And the reality is, I don't know that there is a right way. I don't think that you almost have to kind of play it by ear as you go. Because here you had a message, basically like, discipline your kids and they can avoid these problems. You won't have criminals later. But if she followed through, and again, not blaming her, just saying if she followed through on what she was saying is she disciplined her kid, well, we got here anyway. And I just think that's a fascinating thing for parents, that you're like, what? I'm sure you played that game in your head. What's the right way? Is there a right way, or is there just a way that ends up happening to work for your particular situation?
Do you guys think that if you went back 50 years before the prevalence, at least, of school shooting, that you could go through, I'm saying if you were a wizard, and pick out the kids who, if they had that idea in their head, sort of the Trish Gazelle theory, that they might do it? Or do you think that there are just way more kids these days that have it in their head than they did 50 years ago? Or do you think there's always been, quote unquote, school shooters? They just didn't think about shooting up a school.
I think it feeds on itself. So, the first time it became a huge deal, I think it planted the idea in a lot of heads. But I don't think it was like, 50 years ago, kids would have never. I just think it just wasn't out there in the world, I mean, to me, like, school shooting is very similar to any type of crime. It's like, how do we stop people from doing this? Like, I don't know. I don't know how you stop someone from being that evil and that deranged. I don't know what steps you take. Whenever we talk about mental health, it's like, it's very difficult, because how do you stop someone who has no empathy? And that's where you've ended up. If you're not just going to take your own life, you're going to take the lives of children or of young adults who have done nothing wrong. There's something that is broken inside of you.
I think that's a really good point. And this show talks about mental illness and mental issues more than any other show on the air. And it's always very accepting, and it's always very vulnerable. Pardon me. And here are my issues, and here's the medication I take, and here are my struggles, and hoping I can make other people feel more normal about it. However, on the other side of it, with profoundly disturbed people, the people who do these kinds of things, I think it's an important point, Rach, and you never hear anyone talk about it. There's probably a pretty low ceiling on how much better that person's going to get. Now, can you stop them from shooting up their friends? Possibly. Maybe even probably, but are they going to go on and become an executive of a finance firm and get married with 3 kids? Probably not. Just my completely untrained thoughts.
I mean, I think we do understand. Like, I think we would all agree, right, that every person out there that's ever been a serial killer is in some way mentally ill, right?
Yes.
I mean, nobody is sane in doing that.
Yes.
But it's not a get out of jail free card.
No.
It's not a automatic, well, now we feel sympathy for you, but we do need to understand it, to understand how maybe to prevent it moving forward, or maybe to spot signs that somebody is having trouble or someone is maybe going to go that direction. You can never know for sure, which is why it's difficult. You can never say, that one for sure. But you can keep an eye on things if you're paying attention to what someone in the past has done leading up to that.
The Rockwood School District has openings and is looking for people who enjoy working with kids, child nutrition, cafeteria workers, custodial, grounds and maintenance, bus drivers, the Adventure Club. All of these great benefits are included, and a positive, caring, fun work environment. Competitive pay, part-time and substitute positions available as well. Flexible hours and shifts. The Rockwood School District. rsdmo.org/jobs.
This is Jeff Sachs at Sachs Financial, retiresafestl.com. Retirement security means a peace of mind, knowing you have the freedom to live the life of your dreams and to wake up each day without financial stress. Let us simplify your retirement today. retiresafestl.com.
So, guys, about Neovitin, it is the easiest thing that you can do for your health. I mean, it's not the best thing you can do. The best thing you can do would be lose 20% of your body fat and change the way you eat and, get up before the crack of dawn like Amy and run 10 miles. Like, yeah, we could all do that. But we're probably not gonna, right? But we can all go to Schnucks or Dierberg's, go to the vitamin section, pick up a bottle of Neovitin. It's going to cost you less than $1 a day. A portion of that will go to cancer research, so we can all feel good about that. Take it for a month. Don't expect your life to turn around, but do expect to feel better, to feel $1 a day better enough. If you don't buy it again. If you do, buy another one. Maybe by the end of the second month, you'll feel even better. Created in St. Louis, manufactured in the U.S. under the strictest regulations. Again, locally, Schnucks and Dierbergs are online at neovitin.com.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, hon.
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
We have some new savings from Schnucks for Easter. You can get Schnucks Easter meal deal and feed your guests for just $5.08 or less per serving. Whether you're hosting a big Easter gathering this weekend or a small family get-together, you don't have to spend a fortune on your food. Okay, so the deal includes everything from your Easter ham to potatoes to rolls, plus ingredients for your green bean casserole. They've got dessert covered too, so don't miss this delicious deal. It's available now through the 22nd, so past Easter actually. And you can get all of the details in the Schnucks Weekly ad or in your Schnucks Rewards app that I'm always telling you about. Hams are available while supplies last, so make sure you get to Schnucks today. It's the Easter meal deal for $5.08 or less per serving, only at Schnucks this Easter.
Hey, it's Tom Ackerman, and I'm here to tell you that Underdog just became one of the best places to make entries during the basketball playoffs with their extender. You can play your way to increasingly bigger boosts each round of the playoffs. Start a playoff series by using your Game 1 boost, and then just see what happens. Underdog is a leading place to make all of your sports selections. I love playing Underdog. It's one of the fastest growing sports game apps. All you do is download the app and choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats. It's that easy. You could turn $1 into $1,000 just with your basketball knowledge. Download the Underdog app and sign up with promo code TOM to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. That's promo code TOM. Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/extend.html for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Welcome back, DGS 151. Matthew says the light around Andrew keeps pulsing. It's oddly hypnotizing.
We just did it.
It's doing it. The whole we can't see it with our natural eyes. Like I'm looking at him right now and I can't see anything, but it looks like the rapture's happening or he's turning into the Hulk or something.
Yeah, I'm getting abducted by aliens. They're trying.
Like a little angel.
They're trying. They've been trying.
Little devil.
No, so there is a tree, because this started happening the other day and I couldn't figure out what it was. There's a tree back here out this far window here, and when it's windy and the tree starts swaying it like just changes how much light hits the window enough
Figured
that
it out.
Yeah, that it pulses like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
What light?
And I could just what?
I was just quoting Shakespeare. That's all.
As he does.
I could just draw the shades, but I like like you said, I like the pulsing. I think it draws people in.
Psycho, right?
It's like we got a little light show going on the stream. It's nice.
56% of Americans in a recent poll said that they wish every illegal immigrant was gone. So
what's the number again?
56%.
Of
Americans,
okay,
say that they wish if they could just snap their fingers, they wish that every single person who's here undocumented would just be gone.
I mean, that affects a lot of things.
So you might. I wonder how many of them think about like, okay, because be prepared. You're about to pay more for almost everything, right? I mean, are we accounting for that? Because again, I understand it. I get the idea that we want people to come here legally, and when when it's just a simple thing to say, well, everybody can come here and we're not going to do much about it. I understand that leaves open things because most places don't just let you come and go as at free will, right? Most countries, there's a legal process to move to Sweden or to move to anywhere else. I think that is a logical thing to say. We want that. We don't want the other. At the same time, you do need to understand how many industries have people that are undocumented currently working in them, and what is the immediate impact of changing that. I mean, it takes decades to change that in construction, in the food, in agriculture, and things like these areas where, and again, we blame the individual people rightfully for coming in. We don't blame the companies for hiring them. We don't blame the big ag farms that have them. Or, I mean, look, I bring this up a bunch of times because it's such a glaring case. But there's a shipyard in the Pacific Northwest that builds ships for the Navy, that builds boats for the Navy using undocumented workers. And nobody does anything about the company that's doing that. They just raid it once in a while and grab the people. Well, why is the government contractor not paying a price for that? And I think we all know the answer to that is because it'll cost money.
I mean, if you put money aside, maybe I'm just a bleeding heart liberal over here, but I don't look at every single illegal immigrant and go like, you shouldn't be here.
Right.
Why are you here?
Right.
Oh, you're just here because you want to take our job. No, like, do you have any idea what these people have gone through to get here? It wasn't a nice first class plane ticket. I'll tell you that. There's a lot of emotional turmoil and physical turmoil, and you wouldn't make a choice like that unless you were being forced to make a choice like that. So I wish people would take that into account, but doesn't always happen.
And I think we do need to keep in mind that in the past, there have been lots of immigrants from all over the world that came to the United States. They did not all come through Ellis Island. They just didn't. If you think that every immigrant from a time when we had no technology, when we had no means of really controlling where people went, you cannot possibly think that everybody that immigrated to the United States back in whatever time period you want to look at did it legally. Yet you are their ancestors, and some of them were not here legally.
Let me tell you guys about First Missouri Credit Union. Let me talk about credit unions in general first. So in general, credit unions, and this is a very non-professional way to say it, but they're like the cool brother of banks. Banks are a little stuck up, little stick in the mud, little stick up their butt, like to say no, seemingly, whereas credit unions are a little more loose. They like to say yes, because you're not a customer, you're not a client, you're an owner. You put $25 in a checking account at First Missouri Credit Union, and you are an owner, and you can go to them and say, hey, I need a signature loan, or my 18-year-old son needs a signature loan for this or that. And we're likely to say yes. When you borrow money, you're going to get a better rate than at banks. And when you invest, for example, 4.27% on your checking account alone, which is higher than most banks in St. Louis, and you can verify this by just looking if you want to, that's higher than most banks in St. Louis have their certificates of deposit right now. 2 locations down on Lee May Ferry in South County. The number one, stmocu.org.
Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
And the Lovin' Spoonful. Do you believe in magic? Saturday, October 25th at the Family Arena with the Hollies' greatest hits, starring Terry Sylvester. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon and the Lovin' Spoonful.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2025 with the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Little Anthony, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the Vogues, and the Cowsills. August 21st, the Family Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for Supplement Superstores. I've been a customer there for at least 12, 13 years, going back to 2013 at the earliest possibility, maybe even before that, but it's been at least since 2013. And that's when I would go out to the Mid-Rivers location. My guy there at the time was Bart, and he was such a help to me, giving me tweaks for like an eating plan and for workouts that really make a big difference. And see, this is what you have to understand about supplement superstores, and it's one of the things that separates them from everyone else in this industry. They have the right people in their stores. Every employee at Supplement Superstores is a certified sports nutrition specialist and a personal trainer. So they are experts. They work with you. So when you walk in there and you're like, hey guys, what's going on? You guys get a friendly greeting and they'll say, what are you looking for? What can we help you with? And you tell them and they say, all right, great. Let's sit down and talk for a second. We can go over this and we can come up with an eating plan that's going to help you reach your goals and maybe help you tweak your workout. And yeah, there's also this great product that's going to help you too. And I'm always in there doing those very same things. And it costs you nothing. They're going to do all of that, the eating plan, all that, because they just want to help you because they're about getting you results. And by the way, they also have the best products at Supplement Superstores. They're always on the cutting edge. When new, better things come out, they are there. This is what they do. So if you're looking to gain, go to Supplement Superstores. In fact, go to supplementsuperstores.com to find your location, and then you can get started down your path to success.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis, KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 2 o'clock, we've got wind. It is 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. 2 people killed have not been identified, but police say they were not students after one student opened fire on the Florida State University campus yesterday. 6 people taken to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. Emergency surgeon Brett Howard.
The moment of shock, but all were able to talk to us, kind of give us, how they're feeling, where they're feeling pain. But all of them were very clear-minded and able to converse with us.
The suspect allegedly used one gun that his stepmother, a local sheriff's deputy, had previously used as a service weapon. President Trump's pick to head the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services has been sworn in.
I, Mehmet Oz, do solemnly swear.
You may know him as the TV personality Dr. Oz, but now he's taking the helm of the agency that oversees Medicare and Medicaid, and he has big plans.
Together, we're going to make the care better. We're going to make the outcomes improve, and we're going to make sure that America can actually be the healthiest country that could ever possibly be.
He pledges to do that by modernizing the system and cutting waste, fraud, and abuse.
We are going to stop people from stealing from our most vulnerable, from stealing with the taxpayers.
Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The fight to restrict Missouri voter-approved abortion rights is now headed to the state Senate. The Missouri House passed a proposal that would ask voters to make many abortions illegal again. Branson Republican Brian Seitz tells MissouriNet his measure would limit exceptions for medical emergencies, fetal abnormalities, rape, and incest.
The voters in the past few years were given the choice between two extremes, choices with no middle ground, 0 abortions, or what we have now. There was no position to take via the ballot or in legislation that offered the middle ground, which is where most Missourians lie.
House Democratic leader Ashley Awney says the proposed ballot measure is authoritarianism in action because Republicans are trying to overturn the will of the voters. An advocacy group for the homeless says they're set to meet with the new mayor.
New Life Evangelistic Center's Reverend Larry Rice tells KMOX he was surprised when he was contacted by Mayor Kara Spencer's office for a meeting. Rice says this is far different than when he tried to speak with the former administration.
Went to her office, the door was locked, and she put the barriers up. Well, it looks like maybe things are changing. I'm hopeful.
Rice says they have a meeting set for sometime next week, but details still need to be finalized. He adds with this meeting planned, he doesn't currently have any intentions to encourage protesters at the newly opened City Hall Park grounds. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The KMOX Business Desk, the Saks Butterfly House has been named one of the 10 best butterfly gardens in the country by a USA Today panel of editors, but just which of the top 10 is the very best is up to voters. Voting is open through May 12th. The winner will be announced on May 21st. We'll have the latest numbers from Stiefel coming up on Monday. The markets are closed today because of the holiday. And in terms of traffic, we've got a crash on 6440 East at Big Bend. The right 2 lanes are closed.
An early summer feel this afternoon, partly sunny skies, windy and warm, 83, 84 for the high. A couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. The focus is going to be very late today, though. Tonight, periods of rain and thunderstorms. Some of these could go strong to severe. Not everybody will see that, but the potential is there. 57 for the low. The holiday weekend remains unsettled. Saturday showers with some thunderstorms, a cooler 64. Easter Sunday showers and some strong thunderstorms possible, 72. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
Sponsored by Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorstlewis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorstlewis.com. It is 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. A few minutes past 2 p.m. Sue at 2 is back. She's been hanging out with Reardon at Fish Fries. How'd that all go?
It was great.
Good.
It was delicious. There was one that they seated us down the hall from the fryers, and they had a big fan going. So I had to wash everything that I was wearing that day, including my shoes.
Yeah, wow.
But they were delicious. Not the shoes. All of the food.
I bet they would be if they had all that good smell.
That's how I smelled for 5 years when I worked at Mr. Donut.
Yeah.
You never didn't smell like a donut.
I learned quickly I had to have a specific set of because you just wore like a polo and jeans and shoes at Woody's, but I learned you had to have like a full set of work specific clothes because that smell was not coming out.
You were more dressed up at Woody's than you are here.
Yeah, that is correct.
I think it got into the leather of my purse. And I had to air that out. I've never had anything like it, but it's only because we were downwind of the fryer and it was a warm day and they had everything open.
Yes, I would hate to have fry grease smelling leather.
It's
yes,
so
that wouldn't
weird.
that wouldn't be the dream of my lifetime or anything.
I'm sorry, there's a person outside the window. It just freaked me out.
Yeah, he's been there for a couple of months now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Every now and again he holds up
Ted.
he holds up a sign that says "Where's Sue? I want to see Sue."
No.
We told him you'd be back today.
Great. Hi, sir.
Sue, important question.
Yeah.
How many chuggas come before the choo-choo?
Okay. Chugga. I think
She gets it too.
Chugga, choo-choo. Chugga. Two. Chugga.
Ooh, now two is interesting.
Chugga, choo-choo.
Minimalist.
Yeah,
Two is
you're
interesting.
fast on the draw.
She's not wasting time.
I think
That's
it's
efficient.
Why? What? Oh, is there a debate?
Chugga, choo-choo.
Oh, no. It's just chugga, choo-choo. Why? What did you think?
I'd never
You've
heard
never
of
even
such
heard of chugga choo-choo.
I didn't know what a train was.
Wait, it has wheels?
Kind of.
Sue getting a lot of love.
Oh.
Brian says, fantastic. Andrew says, St. Peter's loves Sue. It's nice.
Thank you.
It's nice
That's
to be
very
liked.
nice. It is.
And we will reward you with Craigslist.
Oh, yes.
We've been saving this for when you came back.
Oh, I love it.
We refuse to play with anyone else.
I doubt that's true, but I appreciate the waiting.
Let's start with a beef calf.
Wait a minute. I have to have a piece of paper.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Hold on.
sorry. I will
Here,
wait
I
for
can bring you
everyone
one.
to prepare.
That's all right. I got a bunch.
Got it.
Okay.
Craigslist prices right. Let me just explain it to the folks who have never heard
Yes.
it before.
Yeah.
Basically, we go on our local Craigslist listings. We find different things that people are selling, and it's up to the guys on the show to guess how much they think these items are going for. Whoever is closest to the price wins, and I actually go buy them these items.
Yes.
I drive to everybody's
Yes.
house.
I have a whole room full.
Man, where's my delivery?
It's a lot of work.
Oh, I don't win anything. I'm always bad at this.
That is a lot of work, Rachel, and you've got some crazy stuff.
We're going to start with a beef calf. Raise your own out of Staunton, Illinois. A beautiful beef calf for sale. He was born mid-November, so just now 5 months old.
What's a
Weaned-
non-beef calf?
Thank you.
Probably a milk cow.
Oh.
Or an ugly
Wait,
beef
no,
calf.
Wait, you can have a calf of a different animal, perhaps?
Yeah, you can have like a goat calf.
Oh, yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, but they didn't call it like a cow calf. It's a beef calf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to humanize the cows too much. We don't want to make them too cute. This is a lump of beef that hasn't been slaughtered yet.
Oh,
He's
God.
weaned and ready to go, sired by a Highland, if that means anything to you.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty.
those are so cute.
And is a big shorthorn Angus Simmental. Okay. The Highland crosses results well in well marbled beef.
I'm laughing
yeah.
at him.
It's okay.
It's not Seminole, whatever.
Wait,
I thought that was funny.
So how much do you think a beef calf
Probably
costs?
a lot.
They got that on Craigslist?
You can. There's actually a whole livestock
Oh.
section.
Yeah,
Never
that's like
guessed
a
that.
huge thing on Craigslist.
$5,000.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
I'm gonna say, ooh, this is tough. $400.
What?
It's just a beef calf. You know, it's not a full sized beef.
All right, Rachel.
It's not a big beef.
I'm going to say 2,000.
Okay.
I'll go in the middle and say 1,000.
Dave and Sue are both equidistant from the
Ooh.
$1,500 price.
We have to have a slap fight.
Yeah.
What?
Do you want to see how we used to slap
Or
fight?
thumb wrestle.
Yeah.
Can I show you?
No.
If you're watching on the thing.
Yeah.
You have to put your hand
Oh,
over
you have
your
to put
face.
your hand over your face and
You had to
just
put your hand over your face,
waddle
stick your
around?
arm under it, and then you could slap the other person. Is this the weirdest show you've ever been on today?
No, that's great.
I would pretend like I was putting my hand over my face, and then once you put yours over, I just wouldn't, and then I'd slap you.
I'm going to
So
give that one
Andrew's
to
like,
Sue.
I'm a
'cause he
cheater.
was
I
Sue.
was about to be magnanimous and say, why don't we each get a point since I was.
Yeah. I
All
would
right.
agree.
All right, let's
Okay,
give
Sue
one to
and Dave
each.
both
All right,
get a point.
thank you.
But now I know where your allegiances lie.
Well, I just haven't seen Sue in a while. I want to do something nice for her.
She's tired
Thank
of me.
you.
Next up, we have a Remington typewriter vintage out of Washington, Missouri,
Oh,
in
that's
good
cool.
condition.
I do love
Uh-huh.
those.
Mm-hmm.
It has a new ribbon. The key strike is good. Carriage doesn't advance. Rusting and pitting. Good shelf sitter. How
Kinda
much
got
is
bad
this
there at the
going
end.
for?
Yeah.
Yeah, it took a turn.
It really did.
Everything is perfect on it except everything else that doesn't work.
It's been peed on.
It did say good condition, not excellent.
Mhm.
I will say $50.
$20.
75.
40.
Okay, we have an
Equidistance again?
It's $45.
Oh.
So Sue and Wheels, I guess.
All right.
Them's the rules.
Yeah.
Those are the new rules.
Them's the breaks.
A WWF chair from Monday Night Raw. I have a chair from Monday Night Raw at Madison Square Garden in 2006. That's the only information we have.
No picture?
There is a
Rachel.
picture. It looks cool.
Does
That's
it look kind
cool.
of like a Cardinals
Like a
seat?
stadium seat.
Yeah, what is it?
No, it's
No.
it's a folding chair.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
folding
Oh,
chair.
that's
too.
just
Padded
on the
folding
floor.
chair.
Remember, because then they can throw them into the ring and they can whoop on each other with them.
I'm kind of calling BS because you could just put a folding chair in there and be like, yeah, I got this at this.
No, it's has the emblem and everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'm going to say, wait, I went first last time. Dave, you
I'll
go
go first. I'll say $100.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say
50.
120 because I think this guy thinks it's something.
Okay.
50 and 120. All right, I'm going to say 75.
Andrew takes this one. It's $125.
Nice job,
Oh,
Andrew.
Nicely played.
Yeah. Well, way to read that person. Why did I say that so bad? Way to read that person.
Way to
Way
get
to
'em.
read that person.
Way to get.
Did you get another shingles vaccine?
No. I think the chugga thing messed me up.
He really thought he was like in another.
I did.
alternate
I was
universe.
like, what are you guys even talking about?
It's so weird that you don't know that.
Because it was like on television.
Yes.
No, I mean, I've heard people do that, but
It's
I
a
never
cultural
like
signpost.
you're like talking about like how many of them. I just thought it was the noise. I didn't think it was a
Thing.
yeah.
So
Next
it was
up-
a noise.
Doy.
Thank you, Dave.
Next up, we have frizzled Easter egger hatching eggs.
Easy.
I'm sorry.
That's what it's called.
Frizzle. What?
So this is a
Let's
type
all
of
stop
chicken.
saying it. It's kind of chicken.
Frizzled chickens are a type of chicken. They're like fluffy looking.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the fluffy.
Like the woolly mice.
Yes.
So it's a chicken.
It's a chicken.
Oh,
but
thank
it's
you, Andrew.
frizzled.
I
Like a
wasn't
beef
clear.
calf.
Okay.
Please, they beg you to please understand the genetics of these chickens. Otherwise, do your research because approximately 50% of the chicks hatched will be fuzzy.
Kevin's cheating.
How many you get?
I'm not
You get a
Kevin.
dozen.
I'm
He's
looking at a
up-
picture of a chicken.
He's looking up fuzzies on the
I've
internet.
never seen these.
What
That's
if
what
it
we
says
call.
this
That's
is
what
how
we
much?
call cheating,
Yes,
I didn't look at the price.
Madam Judge.
How do you not do that, Judge?
I should get Kevin's points because I
All
noticed
right,
it.
I'll take a negative. I just
Okay,
had to
we're-
see it.
We're gonna cross him off from his point that he got.
Sorry, Kevin.
I feel bad because he's definitely not
We're
cheating.
just looking it up.
I know,
Well,
I'm
what if
looking
it
at
says
the-
I've got a
He's
frizzle for
100%
It's
not
just
cheating.
pictures of chickens.
He just Googled chicken fuzzy.
Yeah, they're weird.
It's gonna be my prison nickname.
Fuzzy chicken.
Oh,
So a dozen frizzles.
A dozen hatching eggs.
Okay.
It's not a
Oh.
dozen chicken. It's the eggs.
Then I'm gonna say $70.
Yeah, that's like the price of a regular dozen eggs these days.
that's a
know what I'm
good-
talking about?
Yeah.
I heard
Y'all
that.
with me? I know that's right. Let me do. I'll do 25.
25.
Yep.
50
I
range.
think chickens are cheap.
I don't know.
Not
Right, Wheels,
frizzles.
What did the internet
Not
tell you
frizzles.
they go for?
Didn't.
Uh-huh.
Just that there's white ones and there's red ones. I thought I was exempt from this. And I thought I was in trouble.
No, they took away your point.
Yeah,
from
we
the
Oh,
last
I'm not.
one.
All right, okay. I don't know. 100.
Kevin's
I don't know,
enthusiasm.
Andrew gets this one. They're $30.
Nice work, Andrew.
Mm.
This
'Cause
one,
I've looked at chicken. I've looked at getting chickens like pretty recently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are you
But-
allowed?
Yeah, I can have chickens, and I don't have.
I meant you personally.
My chicken license is revoked.
Just seems like the kind of thing
Wait,
I
Andrew,
wouldn't want you to have.
were you going to build a whatever a chicken house?
Well, we would have
With
had to
little
first.
hammocks?
We would have had to first build a fence, and I kind of stopped there because I forgot that we don't have a fence in the back, and I was like, we can have chickens.
It's
and
pretty
Megan's like,
invested for you.
yeah, and Megan's like, we need to build like an entire fence, and I'm like, yeah.
You just use chicken wire. That's cheap.
Yeah, but then like there are like stray dogs too, and there's that. Remember the monster? The monster's still out there.
The dog with Alzheimer's?
No, that wasn't the monster was hunting the dog with Alzheimer's.
I need
this
a
is
refresher.
deep into DGS lore.
Yeah,
this is canon.
yeah. There's a
Refresh your memories on the monster.
there's like a goblin, a ghoulie, some kind of boogin, who lives in the neighborhood, and you know where I can tell you
Preys
where
on
it
dementia
is.
dogs.
It preys on some of the animals if they're not careful. And my parents' dog had dementia, and they used to be very careful when we would be out walking him at night because
Because of the boogin.
and you can see it. I mean, you can't really tell what it is, but you can see it if it's like following you or
Is
whatever.
the boogin in human form?
No,
Like,
it's
does he
like
wear
some
a hat?
No, it's like some sort of critter. You can tell where it is if you stand outside like at night because you can hear like dogs barking throughout the neighborhood.
Did you make up the word boogin?
No, I heard it on Bender said it on Futurama one time. and it made me
Oh,
smile.
I think
Okay.
Wheeler has questions.
Yes, he's very confused.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess we
Okay.
haven't talked about this since you were on the show. Yes, Kevin.
What could it be?
I
Other
think
than
it's-
maybe a coyote.
I think it's probably like a coyote or
Okay,
something like
okay.
that. I think it's got to be. It's good sized, whatever it is. It's not like massive, but it's.
I mean,
What if it's a kid?
you can see it like a kid on all fours.
coyotes
just
aren't that big. They're
following us around the neighborhood.
medium-sized dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like a big coyote.
Where are we?
We're about to do the next list.
Okay.
Would
You can
like
see
to
it in
hear?
the shadows.
Yes.
It's the size. It's up to your knees.
This one's out of Arnold, a 1940s Wilson baseball glove in excellent condition. It looks cool.
I've bought 4 gloves in the past 4 months.
Oh wow, then you okay?
Yeah, so
You said
I
an
will
80s
go
Wilson,
40s.
40s Wilson. So that's an old flappy one.
$70.
Shoot, Dave knows what he's.
That's probably way
talking
too
about.
much though. I'd go under me.
I'm going to go 20.
20?
$10.
All right. Well, then that leaves me with 15.
Who is the closest to 40? I lost track.
15.
I think maybe
40.
Dave.
What, Dave, what did you say?
I said 70.
Oh,
we
then
all
I'm
said
closest.
under 20. So
I
yeah,
said
but-
20, so I'm
Yeah.
closest.
Wheels gets his point
I'm out of jail.
with the baseball glove. Do you guys know who Stony Stonewall Smith is from the 60s?
No.
He's an action figure.
Stony
There's someone
Stone.
out of Festus. I'm just gonna skip this one. 'cause
I was
nobody-
going to Google it,
I
but
don't
then
know.
I'd
That
go to
sounds-
jail again.
A Festus action figure named Stony Stone.
Rachel was taking a swing that we'd know what that was.
I'm like, everyone's gonna know this. How about a sexy, beautiful Cindy Crawford 8x10 bathing suit, beach, ocean, water?
$1 million.
Oh yeah,
$1 million.
$1
soul.
million.
Yeah, no
Wait,
price too high.
What was it?
Here for sale.
you just want to hear her say it again.
Yeah, he does.
Here for sale is an 8x10 photo of
Oh,
Cindy
photo.
Crawford, a great, beautiful picture of one of the most famous supermodels of all time. The picture is on Kodak professional paper, high quality, would be a great picture to get autographed.
I love that it's an 8x10.
Oh, okay.
Is that
If I could
Really
get Cindy Crawford to autograph, I wouldn't need your stupid picture that you've had in your scuzzy house for the last 30 years.
Well, there
it's an
is that.
8x10, like it's a senior picture.
$4.
$4.
Yeah,
I'll pay
I mean,
20 not to get it.
I guess I'll say $8 because it's like, come on.
I'll say $10, but if I get it, I'll give it to you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Wheels gets another one. This is $5.
Yeah.
Huh.
Does she have wallet size?
Ooh, wallet.
God, remember those?
He's gonna take it out like he's showing pictures of his kid.
handing those out
Yep.
in school.
Do you remember when you actually had the fold out thing that held your family's pictures in your wallet?
Yeah.
Did you have one of those?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was the craziest thing. Your wallet's like twice, 3 times the size of what it should be because you got just there's my dogs, there's my kid.
Aw.
Let's do one more listing. I think Wheels is in the lead. That's
Yeah.
it
What?
says. No,
Even
he's
with my
tied with
cheating.
Andrew and Sue. Everyone is tied except Dave. This will be the decider.
I liked how she put that. Everyone leave except you, guy with the
It's tied.
rim, and you.
Oh, dear.
All right, here's our final listing, you guys. Lion Pez, no feet,
Oh.
out of Arnold. It's
That
in
sounds
ni-
like something the kids would say.
it's in nice condition. Yeah, like he's got ribs.
No
He's
cap.
got lion
He's got
Pez.
lion
No
feet.
feet.
No cap.
No
feet.
feet.
No feet.
No feet.
It
All gas,
obviously
no brakes,
means,
and no feet.
it obviously means that feet on the lion's Pez is the thing. I'm going to say $5.
I've never seen feet on Pez.
I haven't either. That must be a thing.
No feet.
No feet. What did you say, Sue?
$5.
$5? I'm gonna say $8 again.
Okay. All right.
You smoking pot in
I
here?
don't know.
He's like $8 again. $8.
I'm going last since I'm in last place.
All right.
Okay.
$2.
11.
Dave, you win.
Ah!
Guess how much they want for this thing?
How much?
$60.
Because of no feet.
It
No feet.
doesn't even have feet.
No feet.
Come
No
on.
feet.
Why are they charging so much?
Are you no feet for real?
You know how your brain has a yes, I should say it, and a no, I shouldn't. Yours, you need a battery replacement.
No, mine just is always yup. You get that out there. Hustle up.
You can just see, you think it, then go like, that's gold.
Oh, I missed this show.
What was it again? Lion Pez, no feet.
No feet. No feet. No cap.
Dude, he's Lion Pez. Feet? No feet.
No feet.
We can change it to does that mean for real? It's got no feet.
You got no feet. What am I doing?
Triton exterior.
Am I doing it?
Yes.
No
no.
feet.
You didn't say that over there.
Oh, sorry. I
That's
didn't write
okay.
it down for you.
Easy to talk about Triton exteriors. Sound like Bernie there, didn't I? Oh, I'd love to talk about Saliga. Easy to talk about Triton. They are a premium company. They're out of Webster Groves. They're a James Hardy and Smart Siding company. So they're really, really good. The thing is, typically, if something's out of Webster Groves or high end, you can also bet it's going to come with a big price tag. We're not giving the products and the services away, but it's very, very rare when a customer gets 3 bids that we are not the middle bid. And I go through this all the time. I'm going to go through it one more time because it's what matters. There's always going to be someone who comes in and undercuts, whether you had hail damage to your roof this coming weekend, or you're looking to do siding or gutters or fences, and they're going to cut corners to get to that lower price. And then someone is going to take advantage of you. They're going to add 20, 25% on top of our bid just because they can. Tim, the owner of Triton, will be happy to go line by line, square by square, nail by nail to show you why our bid is a valid and valuable bid. 314-717-1159, Triton-STL.com.
You know how you always want to know about everyone else's money? On the podcast, What We Spend, guests will, for 1 week, tell us everything they spend their money on.
My son slammed $6 worth of blueberries in 5 minutes.
And everything that makes them feel.
I want to own a house. I want to have a child. But this morning, I really wanted a coffee.
Because at the end of the day, money is always about more than your balance. Listen to and follow What We Spend, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Trust and Will knows that we'll all eventually need a will. How about right now? Trust and Will makes creating your will easy, like while you're lounging on the couch easy. Trust and Will is designed by attorneys but customized by you, and all documents are state-specific and secure. Find your plan at trustandwill.com and use offer code RADIO now for 20% off. That's trustandwill.com, offer code RADIO. Trust and Will is an online estate planning service. Visit trustandwill.com for details.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? When it comes to Big Wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular to get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and now for a limited time, new customers can get their second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit a store near you, or consumercellular.com and start saving today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Retiring soon? Get the information you need by joining Kyle Jones and Matt Allgeier of Fire Capital Management for your retirement highway, Sunday mornings at 9:30. Investment advisory services made available through Pine Ridge Advisors, LLC, registered investment advisors. Securities made available through AE Financial Services, LLC, member FINRA and SIPC.
The Chris and Amy Show, weekdays starting at 9 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, DGS. Wow, 226. Look at that.
We went long with Craigslist.
Barely enough time to tell you foods that have the widest swings between being good or bad.
Oh.
Okay.
Peaches.
Oh, that's true. You get a bad
There,
peach.
listen, and I know you're talking about the real peach, but there is no worse fake flavor than peach, possibly banana.
Yeah.
Banana.
You know?
yeah.
Good call.
I don't like fake flavors at all. And I really don't like things that taste like other things, like a potato chip that tastes like pickles or something like that.
Yeah, I don't care for that.
Cognitive dissonance. Salmon.
I'll pretty much eat any type of salmon.
Yeah, I was gonna
I'm
say,
right there with you.
I mean, unless it's burnt.
You're so weird today. It's making everything weird.
No
Is he weird or are we weird? It's hard to tell.
Oh, it's him. No, it's him. It's us 99 times out of 100.
99 times, but this ain't one.
Yeah.
Wait, is that what we're talking about, though? Or are we talking about, one day salmon's good for you, the next day it isn't? Or
No,
are
I
you just
think
saying
it's
how it's
more
cooked?
like you can have a really good piece of salmon or you can have that funky piece of salmon.
Oh, funky fish is never good.
Scrambled eggs.
Yep.
Yeah, you can overdo those, and they're terrible and
Oh.
rubbery.
They're worst when they're like underdone though. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't like a
I don't
runny
even know you.
scrambled egg.
I don't
That's
even know
gross.
you. What have you done with Kevin Wheeler?
Point. Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
Ugh, I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of.
So, guys, about Michael's Flooring Outlet. I hope you don't get sick of hearing about Michael's Flooring Outlet. I hope you don't get sick of hearing about any of my live endorsement clients, because that's the lifeblood of the DGS. That's what keeps us getting together every day and having fun and having discussions and crossing swords. It's a very simple sell. The simplest I've ever had. And Mike's been with me for 25 years. And it's simply this. If you need flooring, you can't get better flooring for a better price with easier negotiation and better service after the sale than from Mike. He has 3 locations around town. The buck stops with him. He has told all of his people that, look, Dave has been such a giant boom to my business. You don't let a DGS listener walk out of there without giving them the absolute best deal you possibly can. So whether it's wall-to-wall carpeting or an area rug or tile, linoleum, hardwood flooring, you need it by a certain time. As I always say, play the DGS card. Mike will bend over backwards to make you happy. You can find out everything about Mike and his business at michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
It's time for Dave Murray's weather, sponsored by Sandberg Phoenix Law Firm.
An early summer feel this afternoon, partly sunny skies, windy and warm, 83, 84 for the high. A couple of showers, maybe a thunderstorm. The focus is going to be very late today, though. Tonight, periods of rain and thunderstorms. Some of these could go strong to severe. Not everybody will see that, but the potential is there. 57 for the low. The holiday weekend remains unsettled. Saturday showers with some thunderstorms, a cooler 64. Easter Sunday showers and some strong thunderstorms possible, 72. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we're more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. We are ready to serve you in the areas of business litigation, intellectual property, health law, and products liability. SandbergPhoenix.com. The choice of lawyers an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising.
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain. I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
If it's going to rain, I want to know.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Guys, time of the year to be taking care of the lawn, and I don't know how to do that well, and I don't want to learn how to do it. I don't want to get the fertilizer bag and the spreader. I don't need to do any of that because I use TruGreen, and I have for at least a dozen years. It's probably more than that. And look, this was before I knew much about it, but then I noticed the results right away. And of course, TruGreen is the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. So of course, they know exactly what they're doing, and it's more affordable than you think it is. First of all, they match any competitor's price. So if you've seen something out there, go to TruGreen.com or give them a call, and obviously they'll be able to hook you up with that match of the price. They back everything up with a satisfaction guarantee. So if there's ever a time where you're in between treatments and these weeds popped up here, or there's something I don't like, call them. They'll come back out. They'll make it right. That's what they promised you. They will always come back out to make sure you're happy with the service. So go to TruGreen.com, get your plan set up, and And then you can do what I do, which is let the pros do the work while you sit back and enjoy the results.
I'm Danny Cohn, CEO of the Jewish Federation of St. Louis. I want to share a bit about Passover, especially for those who may have friends, neighbors, or coworkers observing this meaningful Jewish holiday. Passover tells the story of Moses and the Israelites' journey from slavery to freedom in ancient Egypt. It is a time for family, reflection, and honoring traditions passed down through generations. Many families gather for a Seder, a special meal filled with symbolism and questions that spark conversation and learning. No matter what you celebrate this season, appreciating each other's cultures and traditions helps us build a more connected, compassionate St. Louis. So from our Jewish community to yours, Happy Easter, Ramadan Mubarak, and Chag Pesach Sameach. Happy Passover.
Looking to give your bathroom an affordable facelift? Maybe you need your shower area to become a safer space for your family's needs. Hey, it's Trish with a recommendation. Michaels can come in and give you a free quote. We'll discuss your needs and help figure out what would work best for your space and budget. Michaels Baths remodeled bathrooms all over the St. Louis region. 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ rating with the BBB. You'll love these guys. Michaels Bass, 636-775-0800.
This May, the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup is coming back to St. Louis. Join us at Energizer Park for the round of 32 as St. Louis City SC plays for this historic trophy. Get tickets now at stlcity.com/Open Cup.
Today, the Cards, the Mets.
Ameren Total Access 515.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Welcome back, guys. DGS 104.1 FM KMOX. Time to talk to our pal Bernie Miklasz. Bern, can you hear me?
I think we're going to get him on the phone.
Okay. Let's all pretend we're asleep.
Pretend.
He'll be so fooled when he gets on.
Should you guys do that, like with your buddies?
Oh, my gosh. It was a huge thing in the Glover family, and I loved it. Loved it. The joke never got old to me.
Wait, what is the joke?
Just like it's Easter.
Okay.
And we have 12 people in the house, and then we see you pull up, and someone goes, act like you're asleep. And then everyone in the family pretends to be asleep.
Wait, even when I come in and you're
especially when you come in.
And then you guys go like,
Yeah.
it's prime.
It's for your benefit.
Yeah.
Yes. Bernie's with us now. Hey, Bern.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Bernie.
Oh, no.
That didn't sound good.
Yeah, he just made a funny noise. Boink.
That just,
I think we lost him.
How awesome would that be if that he really just did that? Boink.
He caught us like he was asleep.
Yeah,
He was pretending to sleep on us.
Yes. He turned it around on us like,
Yeah.
you doy.
Yeah, we used to do that. Like I used to do that to my brother when we were kids because he would always try to like mess with me or to, like play a prank on me. So I would pretend I was asleep, and then when he would get close,
You must have been horrifying.
well, I mean, he was messing with me. If he wasn't messing with me, he would have nothing to worry about.
That's what he gets.
That's what little brothers get. You got to teach them.
No feet.
No feet.
No feet.
No feet. Lion Pez, no feet.
No feet.
That's gonna catch on.
All gas,
will.
no brakes.
I'm gonna be at home watching TikTok, and someone's gonna be like, "Lion Pez, no feet." I mean,
He's got Riz, no feet though.
Sue, how big are you on going to the Cardinals games?
I like to go once or twice a year and eat a kosher dog with onion and mustard.
There you go.
All right.
And a little bit of popcorn, maybe some peanuts. I do a lot of eating while there and just watch it with a nice breeze. So, yes, I like to go, but I don't go too much. I don't like to sit in the sun when it's super hot.
So you have a narrow band.
But I have a narrow band, and when I go, I love it.
Okay. Bernie's with us now. Hello, Bern.
Hello. This will be interesting because I know I'm on the phone and it should be pretty simple, but on my end, all I'm hearing is like all of your voices in like simultaneous echo. So
no.
I never. I can honestly say that I never used any kind of LSD or anything like that. But
this is pretty close.
This could be what it's like. So anyway, let's give it a go. What the heck?
Let's try it. So my question for you and Wheels, and I'll have you answer first. So far, so good. A lot of good things, a lot of fun things. Let's say 2 months from now, we are 5 games below 500 and things aren't going so well. What sort of things do you fear would have happened, if that question makes sense? What sort of things could go wrong that you think are more likely than not to go wrong if something does?
Well, I think it'd be the starting pitching would deteriorate because there is some underlying vulnerability. There's also some underlying vulnerability in the bullpen. The offense is off to a good start, but we've also seen a team that basically, except for a couple games in Boston, just cannot hit on the road. But that could be just a temporary thing. I think the defense will hold up. I think that they'll play fundamentally sound, but there's no big mystery here. I mean, if you pitch, you have a chance to win. If you pitch well, you can be a really good team. But like last year, the Cardinals pitched solidly, and the bullpen was great, but they still didn't make the playoffs. So you can have really good pitching. You can have a great bullpen, but if you don't hit, you're going to be a mediocre team. Like, in other words, you got to have both areas be solid. You can't have a really good offense and a mediocre pitching staff, and you can't have a really good pitching staff and a mediocre or worse offense. I mean, it's just they got to put both parts of their game together, and they don't have to be the 1927 Yankees. They just have to be solid.
Yeah, I would agree, Bern, that the thing that would be most likely to go wrong would be the pitching. The rotation kind of crumbles a little bit. Guys either fall off or get hurt. My biggest concern, the thing that would worry me the most, would be if it's the young hitters all regressing and not being able to be competitive. That would be the thing that would concern me the most. But I actually don't think that's going to happen. But if that were the case, that would be major concern for like the next year or two also.
Well, yeah, that's right. Well, if that's the case, where they regress to the point where it becomes a real problem, then the Cardinals are going to have to reevaluate a lot of important stuff.
Yeah.
Chaim Bloom's going to have to evaluate a lot of important stuff going forward, because how long do you ride with a group when, especially after they sort of raised your expectations because they started the season well, but if they start to kind of like sink down that hole again, well, at what point do you just say, well, enough's enough? And I'm not talking about all these guys. I think Nootbaar's a hell of a player when he's healthy. I think Brendan Donovan is gold. Yep. I mean, we could go down. We could name a few others, but it's just, it's hard to like completely buy in because we've seen this offense struggle so much. But I like the way it looks so far.
Yeah. Let me ask you, because I'm fascinated by this. I understand that the Cardinals are speaking with one voice, and that one voice is Mo. And I understand the concept of why they're doing that. But to your knowledge, is Chaim beginning to make moves behind the scenes since it'll be his team next year? Is he waiting until the playoffs are over to start making any kind of even subtle movements? Or do you think that it's sort of a transition going, it's just the one voice thing?
Well, he's not going to engineer any moves. He respects boundaries. He's a really classy guy, and he's a very professional guy, and he respects those that he works with. So he's not going to be doing anything devious or trying to do a power grab. It's just not going to work out. And he and Mozeliak have a really good relationship. Bill DeWitt and Chaim Bloom have a really good relationship. Oli Marmol and Chaim Bloom have a really good relationship. The thing about Oli Marmol and Chaim Bloom is that they talk. I always make a joke. It's not like they have Chaim Bloom in some silo buried underneath Busch Stadium and he's not allowed to have any human contact, right? No, he and Marmol have conversations. I think Marmol likes to ask him what he thinks about this or that. And I remember no one's ever going to say, yeah, that happened. But I have to believe that some of Oli's decisions that represent a change in his own philosophy. I got to believe maybe Chaim Bloom's had some interest in that, because if Oli's seeking him out and asking him, well, what do you think? What do you think about leadoffs? Really, I want to know your opinion. I think Bloom has had some influence. But again, I know the Cardinals got to be hush, 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 hush about that, and they'll deny that. I don't know why they would deny that. I mean, aren't they all working for the same team? I mean, it's like, yeah, it's not like, Chaim Bloom by talking to Ollie Marmol. It's not like he's staging a palace coup. They're all working for the same team. They all have the same goal to try to do great, right? So anyway, that's the way I see it.
Vern, you've written about, and we've talked about the designated hitter position, and you can outline it if you want, even if the numbers aren't really changing much because they haven't here in the last few days. But Cardinals have had, to simplify it for everybody listening that hasn't heard it, they've had one of the worst DH situations in baseball. So there's 30 teams. They're at the bottom of the DH spot, and most of those at-bats are going to Alec Burleson. Not all of them, but most of them. Do we need to see a different mix in there? Because I feel like no matter what lineup form we're getting, he's a major part of it, and I'm not sure I understand why he's, say, ahead of Gorman in the pecking order at this point.
Well, I agree with that, and listen, I don't have the updated stats, and there's been some contradictory stats, I must say, too. The Cardinals, but they have a very low RBI total from DH. It's not a lot of impact. Well, what I would do is, Gorman is going to have to get more of an opportunity. He just hadn't played much, injury, but also just being platooned or whatever. The thing I would do, the thing I would really focus on is making Ivan Herrera DH.
Yeah.
And because, number one, the two other guys, but especially Pages, I have to concede he is vastly superior defensively.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a 40% throwout rate on stolen bases, and the other guys he's nailed 1 out of 2 guys trying to steal. So those two together have thrown out nearly 50% of the runners, and Herrera's 0 for 7. And you really notice the change when Herrera's not behind the plate in terms of that, stopping the running game. Herrera is a natural-born hitter. Just let him do what he does best. Do I think they're going to do that? No, I don't think they're going to do that, but that's what they should do. Get him as many games as possible in the lineup as a hitter, and then you can play Pages perhaps more than you originally thought in terms of starting him at catcher.
Can we have you talk about Saliga before we let you go for the weekend, Bern?
Yeah, I'd be happy. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and let's go Blues and all that other good stuff. And happy Easter. Saliga Heating and Cooling's been taking care of us for about 17 years now. We love them. It's a proud family business owned by the Saligas since 1927. 4 generations have owned this family business and run it to the highest standards. And that's why I appreciate that part of it, because when it's your family business, I come from a family that had a business, and all the kids and all the grandkids, and so many people in the family worked through the generations at that family business. And I can tell you from my own experience, it means a heck of a lot more when you've got your surname, that name Miklas or that name Saliga, on this big sign above the business, or in the trucks that are driving around doing business with your name on it. Man, that you just aim for the highest possible standard, because your reputation is on the line, and that's been our experience with Saliga. They just have the highest standards, and not to do a play on words here, but they're also an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. And so they'll take good care of you. You tell them, they know that I've been able to steer some people their way, and you make sure you tell them when you call, you're already going to be taken great care of, whether you mention my name or KMOX. But I'm just telling you, they are waiting, and they're looking forward to bringing you aboard, because once you call Saliga and you do some business with them and you see how great they are, their honesty and professionalism and knowledge and all that stuff, they know that, you're going to have a relationship for a long time. That's been the case with the Miklas family. So anyway, this American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, they're standing by for you. I want to direct you, just before I go, the SaligaHeatingandCooling.com, and read a lot of information about the Priority Club. It's a maintenance program. It'll save you money and also give you peace of mind. It's really, really good. So everyone have a great weekend. But if you want to call Saliga, should you have a problem this weekend or anytime, go to SaligaHeatingandCooling.com. The phone number 314-481-7333. Thank you.
The Bernie Nicholas Report is sponsored by Salika Heating and Cooling, an American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer. Make reservations for the 2025 Women of Achievement Luncheon, presented by KMOX. This award luncheon takes place Tuesday, May 13th at the Ritz-Carlton, St. Louis, and celebrates 10 outstanding volunteers from across the St. Louis metropolitan region. Doors open at 11:15. The luncheon runs until 1:30. Reservations are $60 per person. Sign up and find more details now at KMOX.com/events.
Hi, it's Jeff Sachs. The swings of the market should not affect your retirement plan. Your income in retirement should be independent of the market swings. If you're up all night worrying about it, we need to review your plan, and today is a great day to do it. Let's simplify your retirement at retiresafestl.com.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
That's awful, huh?
My brother got life insurance from Ethos, and it only took 10 minutes. And he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
So let me just bottom line this for you since it's Friday. If you would like to look better and feel better, there are all sorts of arrows you can shoot. You can get some over-the-counter face cream. You can go to the gym. You can stop smoking. You can drink more water. Lots of things you can do. The most effective things I have seen are at BioBalance Health with Dr. Kathy Maupin. I'm a giant fan. I have had most all of the procedures and treatments that they do over at BioBalance Skin. I think my skin looks a little better than a 60-year-old. Part of that may be my genetics, but I think that they've done a really nice job with my face. No one's going to mistake me for a hot guy, but I'm okay with that, being 60. And so if you are lagging a little bit, maybe in the bedroom, the boardroom, the gym, the testosterone pellets work. I've been doing them for 6 years. I would not have done them for the past 6 years if I didn't think they did anything. I can tell when I'm towards the end of it. I can tell when I'm towards the beginning of it. And the middle is just the middle. There's no like falling off the table. For all things Dr. Maupin, go to biobalancehealth.com.
Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon.
Something tells me I'm into something good.
And the Lovin' Spoonful.
Do you believe in magic?
Saturday, October 25th at the Family Arena with the Hollies' greatest hits, starring Terry Sylvester. Get tickets now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Herman's Hermits, starring Peter Noon and the Lovin' Spoonful.
Get ready for BTO live in concert. Bachman Turner Overdrive with special guests Zebra and Aldo Nova. Roll on down the Highway 2025 tour. Saturday, August 30th, the Family Arena. A night of vintage BTO. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Welcome back, DGS. A few minutes shy of 3 p.m. Do people say that anymore?
What?
PM?
Just like shy. It's a bit shy of 3 p.m. It's like quarter till. Like
Yeah.
Phoebe said, I have no idea what you're talking about when you say quarter till.
Well, she probably
What?
didn't-
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did she probably didn't grow up with like a traditional looking
Right.
clock.
No.
I still say quarter till. I mean,
Yeah.
Half past a monkey's ass.
Well, there's a
I
finish
learned
to
that in law school.
There's a finish to that you don't want to go
Yeah,
through.
there is. Quarter till is stuff. So here's the world we live in now. A hot dog place out east. The grandpa used Peeps as the bun and said Easter dog special, and now it's gone viral and everyone's trying it.
And Grandpa came up with it?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
I will not eat that. Thank you.
Yeah, hard no.
Rach?
Describe it again.
So instead of a bun, it's a hot dog on a Peep bun. So the Peeps are the
Yeah,
bun.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good on
How's that not going to melt?
Oh, it's going to melt, Kevin. It's going to be a mess. Ugh.
No,
Blech.
thank you.
Want to hear the boring top 5 Easter candies?
Yes.
Robin eggs, jelly beans. What a lie.
Yuck.
I mean, they're pretty, but
Well, you got to get like the Jelly
No.
Bellies or get the.
Don't want it in any form.
can anyone name the top 3?
It's got to be Reese's. Reese's has to be on there.
Number 1,
Yeah.
the peanut butter egg.
the best.
That's the best.
Cadbury egg.
Cadbury cream, number
Oh.
3.
Ugh.
Number 2 is a classic,
the chocolate bunny
the chocolate Easter bunny.
Oh, yeah.
The ears, the butt.
first.
Ears.
Yeah.
Ears.
Always the ears, right?
I
Well,
don't
people
know.
eat. I
The
almost
last
said
was
that
always
out loud.
the last was always the. Would have been classic radio moment.
I'm both. No. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I say the part you always say for the last was the part that had the little hard candies attached, like to the eyeballs or whatever, the face.
Yeah, I didn't like those.
No,
No.
I always like that. Was always like a little bonus.
I'm a butt man, though. I always started there.
Of
Hollow?
course you did.
What's that?
The hollow bunnies or the.
Yeah, I didn't even know they made solid ones until I was in law school.
I don't like the hollow ones because once you break anything off, the whole thing falls apart.
You know, here's one of the weirder things I did. I used to break the head off and then fill the hollow bunny with frozen orange juice.
Well, that's actually kind of interesting.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Huh.
orange and chocolate go together.
Yeah.
Lion Pez.
Yeah.
No feet.
No feet.
No feet.
I did it.
No feet for
No
real.
feet. That's all I had.
That's okay. So, Sue, you don't like the Cadbury eggs?
No, I think they're gross.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. It's like a fake sugar yolk. I can't.
Oh,
I
love
can't.
it,
Oh,
man. Take a
Lord.
bath
That's
in that
exactly what
stuff.
it is.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah,
Pretty
people
awesome.
either love them or really dislike them, and I'm afraid I'm in that. Is that your favorite one to eat, or would Reese's beat it?
I mean, at Easter, I like the Cadburys because that's the only time I have them. But Reese's is definitely a higher tier candy for me.
Agreed. And they could just put it in any Morphe shape. You know, they try that Christmas
Yeah.
tree, and the egg doesn't
Doesn't
really
matter.
look like one. But who cares?
No.
The egg is just kind of a lump.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah. It's a vague circle.
So we're going to do a project with Bissingers for the fall to commemorate 25 years of DGS.
How nice.
So what type of a candy would you think?
Dark. I'd have to go. Oh, you mean for Camel Ice or for you just DGS?
Yeah.
I would go dark chocolate just because I like that, but I'm not sure what you mean. Are they going to like make a specific candy?
Yes.
A little one?
Yes.
Oh.
Like, for example, I was thinking Buckeyes were big in my family.
Oh, Buckeyes are awesome. It's like a homemade
Yeah.
Reese's,
Yeah.
only with dark chocolate. It's unbeatable.
I like that. I think that's what we'll do.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a bad move.
Thank you, Sue. Good to see you.
Good to see
As
ya.
always.
Thank you.
Tell you guys about Universal Windows Direct. Either you trust me that it's a good window or you don't. Because if it's a crap window, they could give them to you for free. And then it's just going to be a pain in your butt to get rid of them. So good window, solidly built, a lifetime warranty, a lifetime guarantee, a 20-year warranty that you can pass on to someone who buys your home. So if you're a real estate agent, you know how important having something at the very end to throw in to close the deal is. Buy 2, get 2 free with no limit. Buy 10, get 20. You can do the math on that. 0% interest financing until 2030, so the next 5 years. And then when all the negotiating's done, $500 off your total project for the windows. Pretty great. Call 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-207-4545. That's 800-207-4545. Once again, that's 800-207-4545.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler for Game Day Men's Health. You can find him at GameDayMen'sHealth.com. 3 area locations: Chesterfield, which is where I go, O'Fallon, Missouri, and Glen Carbon, Illinois. Phenomenal staff. I cannot brag enough about how great everyone is at Game Day Men's Health, because what they're going to help you do is solve your particular problems, figure out why you're dragging, why you don't feel right, why you don't feel the way that you want to. Because, look, I go to the doctor, every year I get my checkup. Everything's fine. But you don't always feel great. You don't always feel the way that you want to. That's where a place like Game Day Men's Health come in, and they have done such a great job with me. All it was an initial visit. You do a blood test, you get a consultation, like, here's where we can help you, and then here's what it costs, here's how it works. So straightforward, so simple, and I'm telling you, it works, man. Time of year now is where I'm usually dragging. I'm not dragging at all. No dead legs, no nothing. Still killing it in the gym while I'm coaching and do all this other stuff because TRT works, and that's what's working for me. So check it out, GameDayMen'sHealth.com. You too can get back to the top of your game with Game Day Men's Health.
104.1 FM, KMOX. News, talk, sports. The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
At 3 o'clock, we've got drizzle. It is 80 degrees downtown at the Arch. Learning new information about the mass shooting at Florida State University.
The alleged 20-year-old gunman, Phoenix Eichner, remains in the hospital with significant injuries. But Tallahassee Police Chief Lawrence Revel says once he's released,
he'll be taken to a local detention facility where he will face the charges up to and including first-degree murder.
As for a motive for the shooting that killed 2,
at this point, there does not appear to be any connection at all between the shooter and any of the victims.
5 others were injured, and emergency surgeon Brett Howard says,
we do feel that all will make a full recovery.
Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
A federal website that used to feature information about testing, treatment, and vaccines against COVID is now something very different.
The COVID.gov website shows a photo of President Trump walking between letters that spell out lab leak. Under the White House heading, it declares the COVID pandemic originated with a leak from a research lab in Wuhan, China. It also accuses Dr. Anthony Fauci of pushing a preferred narrative that COVID originated in nature. Government websites are often overhauled with each administration, but this makeover makes assertions about the origins of COVID that still have not been proven. A 2023 intelligence analysis said there's insufficient evidence to prove either theory. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The latest version of the next state budget proposals added $300 million in state aid to Missouri's K-12 public schools. State Appropriations Committee Chairman Lincoln Huff reversed Governor Kehoe's move to shortchange the formula used to finance public education.
I want to go back with a department request on this. This will fully fund the foundation formula. I think even the administration, when they rolled out their budget, admittedly did not completely fund that, and that's associated a lot with the changes in Senate Bill 727.
That's a wide-ranging education law with a price tag between $400 to $500 million, according to MissouriNet. There's about 1 month left in the session. With the fence around City Hall taken down, will the unhoused and protesters return with their tents?
Larry Rice and the New Life Evangelistic Center were encouraging people to go to the tent community outside City Hall in 2023. Now with the fences taken down, Rice says they don't currently plan to start that kind of a protest, saying the new mayoral administration has invited them to meet.
If this mayor takes the initiative to interact with homeless people and get to know them as well as she would developers that are coming in that want her attention and lobbying efforts, we don't need to do that.
Rice says the meeting is next week, but a day and time has not been finalized. Sean Malone, KMOX News.
The KMOX business desk, consumer confidence has been going down. It's beginning to show in fears of making major purchases. Here's Jason Brooks.
Real estate firm Redfin says its survey of consumers over the past week found nearly 1 in 4 canceling plans to purchase high-priced items like homes or cars, while another 1 in 3 are delaying those plans, with consumers increasingly concerned about inflation and unemployment resulting from the tariffs. Just over 1 in 3 consumers said they don't have an emergency fund to cover their monthly mortgage or rent payment in the event of a major financial crisis, such as losing their job.
No market numbers today due to the holiday. Stay tuned to KMOX for hourly Stiefel updates as the markets reopen tomorrow morning.
It's a rather warm Friday afternoon across St. Louis, also a little bit on the windy side from the south. We're going to get this temperature up to about 83, 84 degrees, partly sunny skies. We'll keep an eye out for a couple of showers, a couple of thunderstorms. Most of the activity should hold off until late this afternoon. Tonight, though, rain and thunderstorms around. Some of these could go strong to severe. Not for everybody, but the atmosphere is a little bit juicy. 57 for the low. Saturday, periods of showers, couple of thunderstorms around, and some of those could be heavy rainmakers. 64 for the high temperature on Saturday, a touch cooler. Still unsettled Saturday night, and Easter Sunday, not the best by any means. Periods of rain, couple of strong thunderstorms possible. 72 on Sunday. This wet pattern should break as we get into early Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Dave Murray on 104.1 FM. KMOX.
It's a cloudy sky, 80 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
This report is sponsored by Metro Transit.
We are Metro Transit. We don't just help ourselves and our neighbors get where we need to be. We help our whole region get where we want to be. Get on board at rideonmetro.org.
The Dave Glover Show is sponsored by the Michaels Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts. IGotFloored.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS. Happy Friday. 104.1 FM KMOX. You can still listen to 1120, especially if you're out of town. If you're in town, 104.1 is clearly superior. The Odyssey app is great. Crystal clear sound. You can pause it. You can rewind it, which I hate. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can podcast the show as we get a couple million downloads every year. We thank you for that. So as I told you yesterday when we had Mike Elam on, that in addition to the think tank, we are adding in 2 hits per week to talk to our political guys, and we're keeping it as fair as we possibly can. So Mike's about as conservative as you can get. Alvin, I don't know. I'd say you're just like a common sense Democrat.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm a true moderate Democrat.
Yeah,
we're out there.
Yeah,
we're the majority of the party.
Yeah,
right,
you think
exactly.
so?
Oh, absolutely.
So this is a great place for jumping off. I don't know what I am anymore. I truly, truly don't. For years and years and years, when I was on 97.1, I would introduce myself as a moderate Republican. I wasn't Tea Party. Then MAGA came along, and I knew it wasn't that. But I can't really say I'm a moderate Democrat, although I might be. Like, it's weird not knowing what you are, because it'd be like if Christianity had this giant shuffle. And it's like, well, we still kind of believe in Jesus, but we kind of also believe in this over here. Like, you wouldn't know what you were anymore.
Well, I think that's true for most of the, electorate out there, in that the idea where you can say, like, well, I am a Republican on this issue, but most issues I'm Democratic. It's like no one wants to say those words out loud. And I don't have to tell you, that's the problem with the country right now.
Yeah.
It's just people just ignore what their true feelings are on issues because they feel as though if I give in on this issue to the other side will just, swamp the whole thing.
So my friend Andrew is a true blue liberal, and we have debates about what the Democratic Party should do. And a Bernie Sanders AOC ticket has caught fire, and people are all jazzed up about this. And I said, it's the worst thing they could do. They got to move farther to the middle if they have any chance at all, because the country hates wokeness. You disagree?
Yeah, I think they tried to go more to the middle on this last election, and I think it really crashed and burned.
Yeah, so he's saying that's okay. He doesn't have headphones. He's saying that the mistake they made was trying to be Republican light.
Yeah, and I disagree. Okay, I think that the best thing that could be done is to take advantage of where the midterms are going to be, and then find other moderate candidates to fill even more gaps 2 years from that, and especially like in the White House. I don't think that America is really enjoying what's going on in America right now, and so take advantage of that by just now you be the, I don't want to say common sense, but more toward the middle.
Yeah, be more the grown up.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the strategy, and I think that's going to happen.
So I don't like a lot of Donald Trump's policies, but, and I don't say it to be performative or I hope everyone likes me, but I do say that I root for him. I'd rather him be right about tariffs and make some great global deal. And 6 months from now, my 401k is fatter than it's ever been. I don't think that's going to happen. Do you have similar thoughts and feelings about that? Or are you honest enough to just say, I hope he crashes and burns?
Well, let's bring it. Okay. Put it this way. Let's go locally. All right. I don't want the new mayor to fail. I'm not going to sit around and just try to nitpick and just, I'm just going to be the nemesis to the new mayor because I didn't like the way that the election went down. That doesn't benefit anyone. Now, I think that Donald Trump is a different kind of thing because I really don't think Donald Trump has any idea what he's doing. I honestly think Donald Trump is just kind of I don't even know what word to use. It's like, it really is narcissism at its highest level. And as long as he's doing what he wants to do and and the whole place is in flames, he doesn't care as long as you're talking about Donald Trump and what Donald Trump is doing. And I think that's what makes him different. It's like I'm not sitting around waiting for rooting for Donald Trump to fail. I'm rooting for Donald Trump to either wise up or stop it or he's put it this way. He's not a conservative terror. He's not a liberal terror. He's just a terror to the American way of life.
Do you have real fears that Donald Trump could be changing America for a long time, if not for good? For example, if the courts who continue to go against him in most of these cases and continue to demand things of his administration, at some point, they're flirting with just saying, no, we're not going to do what the courts say. If he does that, do you fear that could really remake the three co-equal branches of government?
No, I think where we're going at right now, that people still feel as though like the Supreme Court is telling you can't do that and you have to do this, then you have to follow that or else you are lawless. I don't think any other Republican could have, let the January 6th folks loose. Okay. I don't think anybody else could have done that except for Donald Trump. So I think whoever's thinking that they're going to be the next Donald Trump and they're running for president, they're going to find out that a lot of the people who vote for Donald Trump simply aren't going to be even involved anymore.
Interesting.
They got what they wanted, which was Donald Trump reelected. And I really don't even think they're that much into politics or either way. They just wanted Donald Trump to be the president. And now when he is not the president, I don't think anybody else could say, like, I'm the next Donald Trump. There is not going to be another Donald Trump.
Similarly, Steve Bannon was recently on Bill Maher, and he said on the afternoon of January 20th of 29, whatever it is, Donald Trump will be the president. He will get a third term.
He won't.
You don't spend any time.
Absolutely, positively not. No, because then we're not the United States of America any longer. That's over. I don't know what country we will be, but we would not be the United States of America. That's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. That's nonsense.
Kev, do you have worries, or do you just feel like the grown-ups will take over?
Well, I always keep thinking that. My biggest worry in general is just I think I'm trying to think of the way that Mike put it yesterday. Mike Allen was they're always pushing the boundaries. That's what worries me is they push the boundaries on everything. And I don't like this trend that's been going on for 30 years where we've been giving more and more power to the executive. Like this has been going on for a long time. This is the bigger version of it, right? They keep pushing. We're going to ignore the Supreme Court on this particular thing. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. But those same things, the use of executive orders happened under Joe Biden. The same thing happened under Trump the first time, and it happened with Obama, and it happened with George W. Bush, and it happened with Bill Clinton. We've been gradually building to that point where this branch of the three is now more powerful than the other two, and that's not how it's supposed to be. That's my worry. My worry is we keep giving the executive too much power. We keep pushing the boundaries of what they're allowed to do. So instead of passing laws for immigration, we're just going to do an executive order. Instead of passing laws for tariffs, we're going to just do everything by executive order. That's the wrong process for this country. That's not what our Constitution says we're supposed to do.
I'll be honest with you. I don't blame Donald Trump. I blame Congress.
Well, I blame him and I blame everybody else. Like, just because you think you can push the limits doesn't mean you should. Right? I mean, just the example. If I felt like I could get away with knocking someone down in the hallway, would that make it okay for me to do it?
Or
is it Andrew?
Is it Andrew? It depends. All right.
So, but I do blame everybody else for abdicating their power. You cannot just allow any branch to deteriorate. And I'll be curious to see if the Supreme Court essentially ends up eventually defending itself and saying, listen, man, we are an equal branch. The Supreme Court and the legislative branches are equal to the executive. Period. The end. That's what the Constitution says.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Congress, you have to be minority party, majority party, say, all right, this is in violation of maybe not necessarily, the Constitution, but the orders or the branches of government. You can't ignore us on any issue. It's funny, my wife and I were just talking about this, about the whole, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to vote against this. Okay. All right. I live in rural Missouri or rural part of any state, and I want to keep my rural hospital open. And if we keep making these dramatic cuts to Medicaid and all that, we're going to lose our hospital. You should be able to go back to the district that you represent and say, like, this is not about Donald Trump. This is not about Republicans. This is not about Democrats. This is about keeping our rural hospital open so we don't have to drive 90 miles to go to the hospital if there's a serious injury or something like that. That should win the day. If it doesn't, and you lose your election, then you just become a conservative activist or Republican activist or something where you're still stumping for the values that you need for your constituency. You're just not doing it from Washington, D.C. I don't get Ann Wagner. Okay. I just don't. I feel as though, like, is she so in love with being a congresswoman that she's just rubber stamping everything that's going on, where I honestly don't believe that she believes in most of it. I could be wrong, but that's just my thoughts on that. She's one where I said, like, would you lose your seat if you said, like, now this is just some nonsense. We ain't rounding up people off the street and sending them out of the country and they haven't done anything wrong. That's not right. Now, would she lose her seat if she did that? I don't think so. So why doesn't she just step up and say that?
Well, did you see what Murkowski said? She was doing a town hall and she looked screwed up.
Yeah.
She looked like someone, and I'm not exaggerating, who had been held hostage.
Yes. And that's what sparked the conversation between my wife and I because she asked me, did I see it? And I had not.
Yeah.
But that's what began the conversation that we just had this morning.
Wheels, did you see this?
I saw what she said.
Yeah, Murkowski, Rach, basically said, I'm afraid. I'm afraid to use my voice because retribution and retaliation is real, and we are all afraid. And I was thinking, hey, I feel for you, but this may not be the right job for you anymore if that's how you really feel.
Right. And if enough of you get together, then that won't happen.
Right.
It's
like a children's fable.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yes.
It's like how you teach kindergarten kids about morality and what's right and wrong.
Yeah. Well, at some point, you have to say to yourself, this is wrong. And I got to stand up for what is right. I mean, I've come out, the things I say, like nonsense that, like Democrats are talking about and the whole reparations thing. I'm more than happy to say, like, that's a bunch of nonsense. Like, why are we even wasting our time on that? And like you said, there's people about like, no, you shouldn't really say that because a lot of voters say this is like, man, screw up. They think this is nonsense. So I just need more people to stand up and just say like, okay, this is some craziness now because this is hurting us.
Yeah.
This is hurting my car dealers in, whatever town you're in Missouri.
Yeah.
They can talk all they want to.
Yeah.
But they got to start charging $3,000 more for a car. They're going to sell less cars, which means they're going to make less money.
Yeah.
Our town is going to make less in sales tax. This ain't good.
That's great, Alvin Reed. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
Anytime.
Experience the exhilarating atmosphere of a Cardinals game. Join the sea of red in the wave around the stadium. Feel the rush of excitement as a home run lights up the sky with fireworks, bringing the whole ballpark to their feet. Nothing beats the thrill of watching the Cards get the W with the final out at the plate. It's more than a game, it's an experience. Visit Cardinals.com for tickets and info. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
There is no better way to enjoy America's favorite pastime than cheering on the Cardinals with your family at Busch Stadium. From the thrill of watching the game to the kid-friendly activities, food, and fun, the ballpark has it all. Make magical memories as you cheer together for every home run, double play, and Cards win. Your family summer tradition starts here at Busch Stadium. Grab your tickets today at Cardinals.com. St. Louis Cardinals for the Lou.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, millions of men experience ED, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. At Hims, our own board-certified urologist, Dr. Peter Stahl, knows this better than anyone, and he knows that Hims can help.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, Senior Vice President of Men's Sexual Health at Hims. I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to Hims.
Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs. Options at up to 95% less than the brand names when you get started at hims.com/joy. To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% less than brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Farming's hard. To feed the world, farmers have to work the land, brave the elements, and fight the battle against weeds. Weeds reduce crop yields, so prices go up and everybody gets less to eat. But 50 years ago, farmers got a new tool to fight weeds, glyphosate. It kills weeds while protecting the harvest. Time and again, it has been approved by the EPA and by leading regulatory bodies around the world. It helps enable practices that reduce erosion and keep soil healthy, which is good for the earth. Farming's hard, but it's a little easier with glyphosate. Learn more at go.bayer.com/glyphosate. Paid for by Bayer.
Hi, Stacy with Fairwinds River's Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. Are you a senior seeking a fun retirement? Do you want less work and more play? Do you want to enjoy great food that you don't have to cook? Then I know. Stop what you're doing right now and call Fairwinds. Set up a time to visit and have a meal. Meet some of our awesome residents. Check us out online at fairwindsriversedge.com. We hope to talk with you soon.
Join KMOX broadcasting live from Chesterfield Valley Nursery, Saturday, April 26th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Take advantage of special offerings for Customer Appreciation Day. Saturday, the 26th at Chesterfield Valley Nursery, just east of the entertainment complex.
Whether you're shaping up a small yard or tackling serious acreage, Steel walk-behind, zero-turn, and stand-on mowers are built to get the job done. Shop online or at your local Steel dealer. Steel, let's go mow.
The Dave Glover Show, weekdays at 1 on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Where you stand on the presidents?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
they're so funny, though.
No, they are. I give them credit for that. I like, because there are a lot of bands that maybe aren't as heavy as I like that do amuse me, like in a good way, like maybe laugh, like that one. I like them in that way.
Yeah.
There's good energy too, right? I mean, they're not slow and dull and boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They play the
What was the other big one that was the other big hit?
Peaches.
Yeah. This one was, there's another one too. I feel like I'm missing one.
Oh, there's a few.
Yeah.
There's Cleveland Rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like them. They play 2-string guitars, a bass guitar, and a git bass, and they get all those sounds out of it. Really cool.
No, they're fun. I like them.
Throwback Friday.
Yes,
Flashback Friday?
250 years ago in 1775, Paul Revere began his famous ride from Charlestown to Lexington, Massachusetts, warning American colonists that the British are coming. The British were coming.
And I just read that that's not at all what he said.
What did he say?
Because it wouldn't have made sense
He said
because
no
they were
feet.
all British. Lion Pez, no feet. And he would have said something like the regulars are coming. You know? Yeah. Which I
And
thought
then,
was very interesting.
And
I guess so. They didn't consider
they considered they were all British.
Yeah, there wasn't really America yet,
Right.
as a entity.
Yeah. Might have been the Redcoats.
Could be.
Yeah. And then many years later, the Beastie Boys sang about him.
What a fascinating time in history.
Must have been nuts.
Just nuts. Because I know this is a cliche, but it's so true. George Washington could be the biggest villain traitor in the history of Great Britain. Like, had he not succeeded, and they would have hung him and Ben Franklin and Thomas Paine and all these guys, we would just be saying, well, can you believe that failed experiment when we sent them over to the new land?
Man, did he mess everything
He
up?
messed everything up.
119 years ago in 1906, the Great San Francisco earthquake struck at 5:13 a.m. It was estimated at 7.9 to 8.3 on the Richter scale and was followed by raging fires that took weeks to contain.
What year's that, Rich?
1906.
Can you imagine, with the lack of information and the lack of technology, just what time in the morning, like in the wee hours?
Yes, 5 in the morning.
Nightmare.
102 years ago in 1923, the first game was played at Yankee Stadium, and the Yankees beat the Boston Red Sox 4-1. Babe Ruth hit the stadium's first home run, and 2 men were arrested for scalping tickets. One tried to sell his $1.10 ticket for $1.25. The other one is
Scalpers.
$1.50.
That's
Wow.
funny.
The house that Ruth built.
Yeah, that's cool. So where is that now? Is it still the same structure? Have they just improved it, or did they build a whole new stadium?
It's a brand new stadium.
On the same spot, though?
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't think so.
91 years ago in 1934, the first laundromat opened in Fort Worth, Texas.
I have a soft spot for laundromats.
I don't.
I used to go a lot with my sister when I was little, and it was just, picking out the detergent, getting like little snacks, getting a little Milky Way.
Yeah, they're those two stadiums are next to each other.
Okay.
It's like parking lot.
Oh, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
70 years ago in 1955, super genius Albert Einstein died in Princeton, New Jersey. He was 76 years old. And 59 years ago in 1966, The Sound of Music won the Oscar for Best Picture. I always associate that movie with Easter for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe they used to play it on TV around Easter or something like that, but
I associate that movie with naps.
I like that movie.
Didn't the Ten Commandments always play around Easter?
It plays on Palm Saturday.
Okay.
I guess that's what we're calling it.
Okay.
Day before Palm Sunday.
That was a big one.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that. I still love that movie.
42 years ago in 1983, the Disney Channel began broadcasting. That's kind of wild that it's been around for that long.
Yeah.
And 19 years ago in 2006, Katie Holmes gave birth to Surrey Cruz. That feels like 30 years ago for some. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I guess I was pretty plugged in, or I was watching like Entertainment Tonight all the time back then, and I was like, Tom Cruise's baby. And now it's like, oh, she's 19 years old today.
So I think he was married to Mimi Rogers and then to Nicole Kidman, or was Nicole Kidman the last wife?
No, I think he was married to Katie Holmes.
Okay.
I think they did get married. And 12 years ago in 2013, Rush, Hart, Donna Summer, Randy Newman, Public Enemy, and Quincy Jones were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I know how you feel about like R&B acts getting in, but would you go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't have a problem with anybody getting in. It's just I don't like that they called it the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Just give it a better name, and it's all fitting. I mean, I love Public Enemy. They are one of my all-time favorites, and I'm glad that they're being recognized, that they were recognized as a great. It's just a weird definition to basically call every form of music rock and roll.
Yeah. Let me tell you guys about the Underdog Fantasy app. And you can tell, I mean, I'm not lying to you guys about other things, but you can tell by the sound of my voice when I find something that I really like, a live endorsement client, and I've just been having a blast. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do this, whether it's if it's okay or not, but I have to brag a little bit. Andrew, can you jump on the mic real quick? That
yes.
When I sent you my Underdog,
Mm-hmm.
get this, Wheels. You're gonna love this. So tonight, if Alonso hits a home run, no. Cruz hits a home run, and so JC and Newt Bar get one hit, I win like $3,000 or something. Betting 25. Isn't that great? Isn't that fun? Now, there's a reason that it's, extended that far. Those things happening may not be likely, but it's only 3 guys. So that's how you do it. You just pick higher or lower. They're going to have more than one hit. They're going to not have any hits, more than home runs, 1 home run, no home runs at all. And then the NBA's doing this extender deal where you put something down on game 1, you get a 40% boost token. If you do game 2, thus extending the series, then you get 50%. Game 3 is 60%. If there's a game 7 that is required in the NBA playoffs, you're going to get a 100% boost token. Really cool, a lot of fun, very easy to play, and been winning a little bit of dough. It's been cool. So sign up for the Underdog app using the promo code Glover to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you use the promo code Glover. Must be in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. If you're concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Start your day with an edge.
Total Information AM.
It's like breakfast for your brain. I wake up, I turn on the news.
I gotta listen 3 or 4 times every day.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
I like to wake up with the news.
Total Information AM.
It's where I get my news. Traffic conditions and potential weather that's coming.
If it's gonna rain, I want to know.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9.
I like to turn it on and just get caught up.
Where I get my news. The news, weather, and traffic.
On the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Take me out to my TV on FanDuel Sports Network. Yeah. Watch me some dingers and RBIs. I'm just glad they have my local team live for its root for the Cardinals on FanDuel Sports Network. Cardinals games, Trippin' Brown, the birds on the bat. Did I mention they have the Cardinals?
Straight now. Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
The Biz Dash returns as St. Louis's healthiest happy hour. Combining fitness and fun, it's a perfect team bonding activity for any size business. All levels of runners and walkers are welcome. Join us this spring at Energizer Park, home of St. Louis City SC, for the 10th year of the Biz Dash, the ultimate office party and kickoff to summer. Thursday, May 22nd at Energizer Park in downtown St. Louis. Create your company team today at stlbizdash.com.
Traffic from the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
A pretty good start to your afternoon rush. Just one pocket of volume that I'm seeing, and it's westbound on Highway 44 approaching 141 from about the Merritt's overpass. They haven't turned the camera, so I really can't see what's causing the slowdown there, but that's really the only red I'm seeing on the map. Out of the city, it's a pretty good run westbound on 64, headed past Forest Park out to about McCausland. Southbound 170 looks good. Just a couple off the pace pockets southbound on Highway 270 approaching their construction at Ladue Road. Southbound 55 just a little off the pace as well, approaching the construction headed out of South City. I'm Frank Ladd at the michaelsflooringoutlet.com traffic center.
Hi, Mia here at the winnings desk of the Missouri Lottery. With 56 million winning tickets last year, anyone can win big. So set your destination to winning, like gas stations, grocery stores, or anywhere you can buy a ticket. The Missouri Lottery. Winners welcome and play responsibly.
Join the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra for Dvorak's Cello Concerto, Radiant Warmth. Conductor Ruth Reinhardt makes her SLSO debut with an evening that opens with Grażyna Baciewicz's soulful concerto for string orchestra and Paul Hindemith's defiant Matthias der Mahler. Then, rising star Andrei Ionisa performs Dvorak's unforgettable cello concerto. April 26th and 27th at Stiefel Theater. Tickets at slso.org.
This month's Siteman Cancer Center spotlight is testicular cancer. Dr. Woodson Smeltzer.
Testis cancer is a disease primarily of men 18 to 45. And so for men in that age segment, we recommend doing just a monthly testicular self-exam. And you can do this in the shower and just basically feel for any abnormal lumps or bumps on the surface of the testicle. And then, of course, if you find something like that, that's when you need to contact your doctor and get further workup.
Thanks to Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. For more information, visit siteman.wustl.edu.
The easiest way to park on game day is to park with iParkit. iParkit has the best game day parking garages in St. Louis. iParkit has 2 convenient garages on Clark Avenue, located right next door on either side of the ballpark. The iParkit game day garages have multiple entry and exits to accommodate all fans, no matter where you're coming from or headed to after the game. Download the iParkit app and drive in and out using only your license plate. Use iParkit for convenience and peace of mind on game day.
Today, the Cards, the Mets,
Ameren Total Access 515.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Dave Murray's Weather is sponsored by OverheadDoorSt.Louis.com. If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are open now for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at OverheadDoorSt.Louis.com. You can't win if you don't enter, so OverheadDoorSt.Louis.com.
Welcome back, guys. DGS. Happy Friday. 104.1 FM KMOX. We're having a little trouble with the technology today. What else is new? Dave Murray is going to join us by phone. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, I think I'm here.
Yeah, there you go. We got you. We got you.
All right.
Yeah, I thought for a minute we weren't going to have you at all, which is never good, but especially on a day and a weekend like we have coming up.
Right. So let's do a broad brush first, and then I'm going to try to get into some timing things here. Nothing has changed as far as like the amount of rain we'll see by late Sunday night, 2 to 3 inches, some spots 4 to 5 inches. There will be local flooding. There will be Merrimack River Basin flooding from all this. And basically, we just have to look at this as waves of rain and thunderstorms coming at us. It will not be raining all the time, but when it does, it's going to be really raining and raining quite hard. So scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight, Saturday night, Sunday, and into Sunday night. I think there's 3 main waves of action. One is tonight into Saturday morning. So thinking from about, it's starting to try to pull together right now, but thinking from 7, 8 o'clock tonight until 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday, there will be some severe weather There will be heavy rain at times. That's probably the biggest feature overnight. I do think a severe thunderstorm watch will go into effect here probably in the next hour or so. Then there's a break, and then number 2 is late Saturday night into early Sunday morning, thinking 10 p.m. to 8 to 9 a.m. on Sunday. So not the best news for the sunrise services. That I don't think is going to be severe. I think that's mainly a heavy rainmaker. Then the third event is Sunday evening into Sunday night, 5 p.m. to midnight, very heavy rains and a real strong shot of severe weather. Again, severe weather is not for everybody, but these storms have the possibility of being the strongest of this event. Again, this is Sunday evening into Sunday night, large hail, high winds, and possible tornadoes. That's kind of the same story that we'll see tonight, too, but not as much of a threat of tornadoes. But again, very heavy rain and some hail certainly possible as we go through the night. Very unsettled weekend, and of course, it's all gone by Monday.
Dave, if you had a daughter driving home from the middle of Kansas tonight, how bad would that be?
She's going to kind of drive into it. It's just trying to pull together right now. It's not like it's coming at us. It's going to develop over us. I think. When's she leaving?
Probably leaving Lawrence, Kansas around 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Probably
she will eventually. She'll
11.
eventually. Yeah, she'll eventually catch up to it. But I think a good portion of the drive she'll probably be okay. But she will, once she gets towards Columbia, she's going to start to get into it.
Gotcha. Always seems to be weather between us and Lawrence. So I guess that's really true. I mean, that's kind of the way it happens. So,
yes.
And are we already sort of just below flood stage from a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, the Merrimack, but it's high, and that's where a lot of this water is going to end up going, is into that basin. The major rivers are still okay. We've had a lot of rain, but a lot of the rain has been St. Louis south, so it hasn't been to our north. It hasn't been coming down the major rivers, Missouri, Illinois, Mississippi. So my main concern is going to be Merrimack River, things like that. Also, the small streams and creeks are going to go up and down very quickly. They'll go up when we're in one of these waves. They'll go down when we get a big. We had a lot of rain, as we all know, so the soil gets saturated.
Yeah, kind of losing Dave there. Headlines, Rach?
Yeah, Headlines is brought to you by Schnucks. Reward yourself daily with the Schnucks Rewards app. A new poll reveals a growing political divide among Americans under 30, with more young voters shifting towards the Republican Party. Gen Z's support played a crucial role in re-electing President Donald Trump last year. And the Yale Youth Poll found that voters aged 18 to 21 now favor Republicans by 11.7 points. Very interesting, because for the longest time we've been told that Gen Z especially is just super progressive.
Yeah.
And doesn't look like it.
Yeah. No, I've always, like with Nick and Phoebe, I said, maybe get into the federal service in some way, maybe be a park ranger, because your generations are going to be so much more liberal and there'll be so many more government jobs. And that still may end up being true in 10 or 15 years, but it's certainly not true anymore.
Have you guys seen about Haley Joel Osment? He's back in the headlines these days. He was charged with possession of cocaine and disorderly conduct after some alleged public intoxication at a California ski resort. He was also caught on police body cam footage using some anti-Semitic slurs towards the police officers.
Yikes.
He says, I'm absolutely horrified by my behavior. Had I known I used this disgraceful language, I would have spoken up sooner. And he says he was blacked out at the time.
Oh, man.
Sorry,
Yes.
I just never buy that.
What do you mean?
I don't buy it's the booze. I never do. It may be, does booze put thoughts in your head that don't otherwise exist?
No, I think that drugs and alcohol can definitely lower your inhibitions to where you do and say things you normally wouldn't.
Right.
But it doesn't initiate it.
Right.
It's there.
Right.
Yeah.
The IRS has 40% fewer workers this tax season. There's been a mass exodus from the IRS due to a combination of buyouts offered by the Trump administration and then widespread layoffs. So that's weird because during the Biden administration, it's like we're going to pump up the IRS and have all these new workers, and now it's being reduced by 40%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't understand that one.
Well, can't investigate people when you don't have investigators.
Yeah, I would think they would want the money, though. I would think they would want them going after their enemies and going after just, John and Judy Smith, and to get as much money in the coffers as possible. I would have thought the IRS would have been his best friend.
Sam's Club is making some big changes, including the elimination of checkout lanes. So they say they're not letting go employees over this. They're just going to use employees in a different capacity. But they're going to do a scan and go model where shoppers will use the Sam's Club app on their smartphone to select their purchases while they shop. Then they pass through a scanner as they exit, which will confirm their purchases and issue a charge.
Dave says, you think maybe kids are leaning Republican to rebel against the quote unquote hippie generation who are now their professors?
No.
No?
No.
What do you think it is? If it's true?
Influencers. I think there's been a pretty good amount of information about that. Especially young men are being influenced by guys like Andrew Tate and that push is not necessarily quote unquote, pro-Republican, pro-conservative, pro-Trump, but it's very much not liberal, right? It's very much aggressive, and people have been kind of pushed into that direction. But I also think it can be normal things too, like you're just not happy with your circumstances. So who was the last president? Well, you're going to go against that. I mean, I think there's a lot that goes into it, but I wouldn't think it has anything to do with the people teaching you, because I mean, people have this weird thing, like all these professors are at their preach. I went to college, man. I never had one professor bring up anything political in class ever. Like never. Just they taught you the thing that you were there to study, right? You're studying music or you're studying broadcasting. It was like, that's it.
Yeah, if they did with me, I wasn't smart enough to know they were doing it.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't there to learn.
I didn't go to a 4-year college, but I do think things are probably a little different now than they were in the 90s.
I would agree.
True. I mean, my kid just finished college and is still doing the graduate studies things. And there are definitely there's definitely the influence. And I would say campuses are like that, right? I mean, we see about all the protests. You see all these different things happening. I'm not sure that that's how things are being taught in classrooms, where the subject is not related to politics or social studies or something along those lines. Like if you're studying architecture, your professor that's teaching you about physics and about mechanical engineering is not filling your head with any political thoughts. So just like anything else, I know it exists, and I realize I understand the bias exists overall in the campus atmosphere. But I mean, to think that the vast majority of professors who aren't teaching things that relate to that are really making some effort is kind of odd.
I'm not saying this is what Dave was saying online, but do you think it's unfair to always assume that young people are rebelling when they take a position?
I think it's a fair start, right? I mean, what happens a lot with our presidential elections, right? There are people that are swing voters that are in the middle, and that's why we tend to sway back and forth. If it's not every 4 years, it's every 8 years. We tend to sway back and forth between parties. In part because there's always a population of people that are unhappy with the current set of circumstances. So you want something different than that, right? And look, a lot of young people are the ones living in that culture that we've talked about, whether you called it cancel culture or whatever. They're living in a lot of that internet, that internet world, that social media world. And I would say it's probably as much a pushback on that as it is anything else.
This just kind of shows how far removed I am from the Star Wars universe nowadays. I had no idea this was happening, but actor Ryan Gosling is set to star in the next installment of the Star Wars franchise titled Star Wars Starfighter, which is scheduled to be released in May of 2027. It's going to be a standalone adventure set several years after the rise of Skywalker. The announcement was made at the Star Wars Celebration event in Tokyo, Japan, where fans were treated to a sneak peek of the upcoming movie.
Yeah, they have some cool ideas. They made a lot of announcements. There's going to be another Rey movie. I don't know if they're calling that a continuation of these most recent 3, but there's going to be another Rey movie. There's going to be a new trilogy also that follows the events of Rise of Skywalker. So it should be fun. If they do it well, hopefully.
Traffic from the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
We're dealing with an accident now, and it's southbound on Highway 55, just south of 141. So you've got a little bit of a backup there in all lanes as they work on this accident scene. Also, a crash up in North County, eastbound Highway 270. The ramp to New Halls Ferry partially blocked there, not really causing a delay on 270, but as you get off on that ramp, it's a little bit of a tight squeeze. Still seeing that pocket of volume westbound on Highway 44 between Bowles and 141. I'm Frank Led in the MichaelsFlooringOutlet.com Traffic Center.
This report is sponsored by McKelvey Homes.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan at McKelvey Homes. Have you always wished for a brand new home in an established neighborhood? Select one of our move-in ready custom homes throughout St. Louis, or we will build on your lot. Visit McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
The Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup Tournament is coming back to St. Louis. Join us on May 6th or May 7th at Energizer Park for the round of 32 and watch St. Louis City SC compete with teams from around the country for America's most historic trophy. Tickets are available now for the round of 32 and round of 16. Learn more at stlcitysc.com/Open Cup and help the boys in red bring home an 11th U.S. Open Cup to our city.
Hi, Stacy with Fairwinds Rivers Edge Senior Living in St. Charles. Are you a senior seeking a fun retirement? Do you want less work and more play? Do you want to enjoy great food that you don't have to cook? Then I know. Stop what you're doing right now and call Fairwinds. Set up a time to visit and have a meal. Meet some of our awesome residents. Check us out online at fairwindsriversedge.com. We hope to talk with you soon.
The Ultimate Drive, hosted by Albert Pujols and benefiting the Pujols Family Foundation, returns Thursday, May 22nd to Top Golf in Chesterfield. Enjoy dinner and drinks, play golf with a celebrity, and support Albert and the Pujols Family Foundation. Limited days remain. Reserve yours today at PujolsFamilyFoundation.org or go to KingMOX.com/events for more info. The Ultimate Drive, hosted by Albert Pujols, sponsored in part by KingMOX and Top Golf.
Join KMOX broadcasting live from Chesterfield Valley Nursery, Saturday, April 26th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Take advantage of special offerings for Customer Appreciation Day. Saturday, the 26th at Chesterfield Valley Nursery, just east of the entertainment complex.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Many of you know that my inspiration for becoming an accident attorney was my brother Tim, who was rendered a quadriplegic at age 18. I didn't know what a personal injury lawyer was or what they did, but I soon did. Tim was treated terribly by the insurance company, and I became enraged. It was a constant delay and deny. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Tim later worked with me for 27 years. Last year, my hero died at age 65. You can see my eulogy for him by visiting mybrothertim.com. He was one hell of a man. Because of Tim, together we built the largest injury firm in the world. And our clients are treated the way I would want my family to be treated. At Morgan & Morgan, nobody is a nobody and everybody is a somebody. If you need our help, visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer. See you soon, Tim. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Injured? Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Welcome back. DGS 350 coming up at the top of the hour. We're going to award the coveted Golden Cod for this year's DGS Catholic Fish Smackdown. I can tell you this. It came down to 1/10 of a point.
Wow.
Yes.
That's pretty
Awesome.
1/10 of a freaking point.
close. No feet, man.
No feet.
No feet.
Lion Pits. This thing's gonna catch on.
What if you heard some kid say that like next week?
I'm gonna have Phoebe take that back to KU.
No feet.
Lion Pez, man.
No
feet.
feet. No feet.
No feet. Where would you guys say is your happy place? For example, I have lots of happy places, but my happy place is in the mountains. At my place that my buddy owns and he lets me use, and just the running blue white water and the chill, and there's no air conditioners in any of the units because it never gets that hot. That's my happy place. How about you guys?
I quite like the Lake of the Ozarks. Been going there the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite nice down there.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I bet it's
Fun.
so much different than I haven't been down there. I bet I've been there once in 25 years.
I bet it's not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty old fashioned down there. It's pretty chill. I mean, I don't think they change a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I it's not like a specific place in Grafton, but just like being on the river road, being on the river like that, makes me extremely happy. And I just like looking out over it. And sometimes when I'm like driving home from my mom's or whatever, I'll pull over and just take some pictures of everything that's going on because it just makes me really happy.
Did you guys go out on the river much?
No. So in
Too dangerous?
93, no, not necessarily that. We just, my mom is always like, oh, I would never swim in the Mississippi. I saw what went into it during the big floods. So like,
Yeah, Kim's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, one time, one of my first girlfriends, their family had a river house, and it was a real river house. I'm talking just like kind of like a shack. And they had, a speedboat or bass boat, whatever you want to call it. And we would go up a river a couple of miles and then inner tube down. And so I met her through her younger brother, who's a year younger than me. And he was kind of a jackass, like younger brothers will be. And so I was on my tube, get this, Wheels, and all of a sudden, her brother swims underneath me and hits my leg so hard it almost knocks me out of my inner tube, which made me infuriated because I wasn't a strong swimmer and it's the Mississippi River. And so I come up, get solidly on my inner tube again and start yelling at him. He's on an inner tube. It was a fish.
You got fished.
That's
a big fish.
Brother-in-law sized fish.
Man.
Yeah, right?
Catfish?
It had to be.
Shark, maybe?
I mean, it had to be a catfish.
Yeah.
And my dad, I remember this so well. My dad was a union carpenter and he was working on the dam, the lock and dam. And he said that guys would go down there, divers, to weld or to do whatever, and would come up terrified because the catfish would get right there where the dam is because all the food would collect down there and they would just eat and eat and eat and grow and grow and grow.
River monsters.
River monsters.
Yeah.
Tell you guys about my good buddy, Dr. Corey Soman, orthopedic surgeon. He's a Midwest orthopedic and spine specialist. You just never know. You never know. It can be a 12-year-old soccer player that tears an ACL. It can be like my mom, 96 years old, who falls and breaks a hip. It can be anything in between. Sometimes it can be like Amy, who rolled her ankle really bad. Anything structural that you have happen, do yourself a favor. Call Dr. Corey Soman. He is one of the best. You can ask your primary physician. He'll know Corey. She'll know Corey. You can go WebMD. You can Google. You're going to find nothing but rave reviews. I am his patient. I am his good friend for 20 years. He's very easy to talk to, very affable, and he's just hell on wheels in the operating room. 636-231-5881 or Soman, SOLMAN, SomanOrthopedics.com.
Tom Ackerman here. Busey Bank proudly recognizes the Glen Ed Pantry as a building community partner for the services and food they provide to more than 250 families in the Edwardsville School District each month. Food insecurity severely impacts every part of a family's life. More than 600 volunteers and donors make it possible for the pantry to fulfill their mission to provide food and services with dignity and respect. Learn more at glenedpantry.org. That's glenedpantry.org.
This is Rob Schwartz, Senior Vice President of Busey Bank. The Glen Ed Pantry, our community promise partner, is building a brighter future, a new home for Glen Ed Pantry built by the community for generations to come. The need is growing, and your help is vital to make this vision a reality. Learn all about the campaign at glenedpantry.org. That's what building community is all about. Join Busey. Get involved as we continue building the communities we call home.
You guys putting together